All right, we are live here on Armbars and Suplexes. I keep saying host. I'm tired of saying host. I am one of the co-hosts, Alec Miller, here with my other co-host, Jesus. I keep pointing the wrong way. What's up, man? Yeah. Once again, you can follow us on Twitter. Kind of can see them right there on the screens, right there, guys. Follow us on Twitter where you can get all your talk about whatever. We're gonna talk about a whole lot of stuff today. Jump into like a little bit of what's going on with us and a little talk about other stuff, and and then we'll jump into what we really wanted to talk about, which is best moments of the year in terms of wrestling and MMA, and then going year by year of the decade, our favorite movie of each decade. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this was hard list. What about you, man?
Man, I think it was hard. I had to make some compromises to myself. I kind of can't look at myself in the mirror now on some of these compromises that I made for best movies.
Yeah,
But it's cool to look back and be like, oh man, that came out then, and then you kind of remember where you were at when you saw that movie.
yeah,
So it
definitely.
was fun. It was fun doing it, but man, I don't know, man, some controversial stuff on here.
All right. So we're this is our last show before the new year because the new year is in what, 2 days?
Two days,
The 30th right
day and a
now.
half. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be on the 31st tomorrow, and then into the new year, the new decade of
So
2020s.
this is the last show of the decade, man.
Last show of the decade. It's gonna be a fun one. But anyways, let's get to it. How was your Christmas, bro?
Oh man, it was awesome. It was one of the better ones that I've had in recent memory.
That's good.
One of my children was crying on the gifts that we gave her.
Oh,
So that's always a good feeling. Tears of joy, not
yeah,
tears of
yeah,
sadness,
obviously.
obviously. But yeah, man, we got a bunch of cool stuff for the kids. They had a blast. Got to spend some. Oh damn it, got to spend some time with the family.
That's good.
Uh, and I mean, what else can you ask for? You know?
That's good. Yeah, I'm learning as a parent that I mean, my son doesn't care about gifts right now because he's one. He didn't even really want to open them. He was just kind of like whatever. But that's kind of as it comes with age. It's kind of like comes with age. They don't really know what's going on. All he knows is that all these people are around him, and he's just like freaking out. but but like even like gifts that we got people, because this was one of the first years that I was able to get gifts for really a lot of my family.
That's
Uh,
what's up, man.
Whereas normally we had to like prioritize certain people over others. But this year I
Hmm.
really got everybody a gift, and I was really excited for everyone to get their gifts. And it was a good time. I had a really good Christmas, man.
Well,
It wasn't about me getting gifts. It was about everybody else getting their
well,
gifts.
that I mean, there you go, man. That's I mean, I've been a father for. I mean, Emily's what 11, I think. She's gonna be 12. Uh, so yeah, man. After we had her, it kind of like changes, and it's like not about what you're gonna get, but what you're gonna get people and their reactions and stuff. And
Hmm.
at least for me, man, like my family right now too, like my sister and my parents, they like want to give people gift cards a lot. And I'm like, man, that's not what it's about, man. I'm trying to
Mm.
give something that's kind of thoughtful or something unique or different. Like I got my brother this really cool you know what a growler is?
Mm-mm. No, what's that?
A growler is like this big 64-ounce container that you can take to breweries and they fill them up.
Oh, nice.
So I got him one of those, but I got him a Dragon Ball Z one. So it's kind of like
Ooh.
pretty cool. I
Yeah.
mean, I would think like, man, that's pretty cool,
Hmm.
So it's like stuff like that. You think about certain things that they like. You're trying to get something cool, different, unique, and you kind of want to get those reactions. So at least for me, my joy is seeing the reactions, but it's also the giving part of it and having the thought behind it for me.
Yeah, just real quick. So my friend Angel's in the chat. What's up, Angel?
What's going on, man?
Like I've said in past streams, he's someone that I've known almost my entire life, basically since I was in middle school. We've been close. Just he's going through a tough time, so I'm glad he was able to take time out of his day and the shit that he's going through and be able to tune in. So what's up, man? Hope we can entertain you for at least the next 2 hours.
Welcome back, bro. Welcome back.
And he's well, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. I'll let
Yeah.
him say it if he wants to. But yeah, he's in the chat. What's up, man? I wish I could see who the other person was because we have a second person. I
Oh, that's
can't
probably
see who it is though.
probably that's probably my son, man. My son's been on there trying to check out our streams.
Cool. So yeah, man. Yeah, like I think this year. So at my girls' family's house, they did the white elephant, but they didn't. Some
Mhm.
people didn't follow the
The
unisex
rules.
rule.
Yeah.
The unisex rule, so there were like some makeup stuff. So I just got a gift card, and that's the thing. Another thing too is people got gift cards, and I hate gift cards. Like I think it's so like disingenuous. It's like it's not. It's just kind of like I forgot to get a gift. Let me go get one real quick. Gift card,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
And then for my side of the family, we did Secret Santa, but not really Secret Santa. Like everyone kind of told everyone who they had. So like I got my brother-in-law, so it kind of made it easier because I was gonna get him a gift anyways. But we got like a cool jean jacket because he likes stuff like that.
Oh,
But
nice.
my girl got my cousin, who no one really knows what he likes. He's just kind of like he's a smoker and a drinker. Like that's all we know about him. We even asked his wife, and she was like, I was like, we don't want to get him something that like involves smoking. She was like, he likes to drink. And so we went and got him like I got a bottle of Wild Turkey Long Branch.
Oh, nice. That's good. And you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, and we basically almost drank the whole thing that night, and it's really good. I had like maybe like 3 cups of it, but not whole like by itself. I think he gave me a shot of it, and I was like, "Ooh, still can't do this yet. I'm close though." I didn't.
You get in there.
I didn't like do this. I was just like, "Oh, that burned."
There you go. You're starting to get that poker face, that straight face right there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I had like 3 mixed drinks of it, like Sprite, and then all the Sprite got drank, so I had to mix it with Coke once. But it was good. It was a good time, man. Had a really good Christmas.
Real quick, you talked about that's good, man. I'm glad to hear that, dude, and it's always good to give to the family and that it feels good. But what I was gonna say is, you said you did White Elephant. We did this new because we've been doing White Elephant too, and it's the same thing that you said, like they don't get the unisex gifts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we did this new one this year, and it was really fun, dude. I've never had that much fun before. Excuse me. And what they did is, my wife and my sister got together, and they asked for gifts from everybody. I think like $5-10 gifts, something like that. And then they started wrapping them in that plastic saran wrap ball. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So they did. It was like the ball was like this big when it started out, dude.
Yeah.
And we had probably about, I don't know, a good 12 to 14 players, and like half of them were our kids.
Dang.
You know.
And you're rolling the dice and stuff.
You're rolling the dice trying to get doubles while they're trying to look for it.
Yeah.
Dude. It was so much fun. We got a lot of candid shots and candid videos.
That's awesome.
Of people really getting into it, dude. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Another thing we did is that we went to my dad's house. So we just started doing that recently, like once my son was born, going to my dad's house. And like I don't know, she's not listening. She wasn't always like the most comfortable around my family, like my dad's side of the family, because I'm still like kind of like getting used to being around them all the time. But this year she like we kind of ranked the Christmases. And I was like, so which one was your favorite? And she was like, your dad's. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah. She's like, I felt a little bit more comfortable talking more with my sisters and stuff like that. So I'm like, and we have my little niece, so she's a little cutie. And so yeah, I was like, wow, I was surprised.
Yeah, dude. I mean, everything happens with time, man. Time kind of like, you get comfortable, you loosen up, you understand people, and it makes it a lot more comfortable to be around during the holidays.
Yeah, I liked her family's Christmas a little more because I got a 6-pack of the St. Arnold's Texas Winter IPA, and
nice.
I drank the entire 6-pack.
Yeah, that's really a new one, man. That's a new one, dude. I've been meaning to try it. Does it have like a piney taste to it, almost like a woodsy taste, almost?
It's kind of like not nutty, more like. I don't know, kind of like not a smoky flavor, but like I got like a kind of barbecue like feel. I don't know why. Maybe it's something in my head. I don't know, but like I was thinking like, man, this is just like really good. It's not. It wasn't too strong. Like, it wasn't too hoppy, but it did have a decent amount of hops in it. So I'm a hop fan. I like hops.
Yeah, I'm a hop fan. Hops make it bitter too. I gotta check it out. I haven't been on my beer game lately. I've been off on my beer game.
Yeah.
But I plan to get back on it full force in 2020.
Yeah. Oh, Angel, don't worry about it. I'll talk to you later. But yeah. So one more thing. I found out on Christmas that I am going to the Royal Rumble.
No way, dude. Are you serious?
Yes, my girl's cousin got me the tickets because her mom and her uncle are also wrestling fans. And she was like, would you be willing to go with them? I was like, hells yeah.
What
That's
kind of a
awesome.
question is
I
that,
know.
man?
I was like, one of the first times I went to a freaking wrestling event, I went by myself. Like, I will go with anybody because it's so much fun. Like, it's the environment, like it's the people, and then this is a big event. Like, this is their like one of their biggest. This is when the road to WrestleMania starts. So I'm
Yeah,
super
man.
excited, man. It'll be
It's like
fun.
Daytona, the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the season, basically. That's awesome, man. Well, congrats, or I don't know how to say it. Like, great job. I mean, you did a phenomenal job, you know.
Yeah, thank you.
But that's also it's
I was
awesome though,
good this
man.
year.
I'm excited for you, man. I'm very excited
Yeah,
for you, dude. That's
and then
awesome.
we got to work on getting our tickets for UFC for sure.
Yeah, so I've been I don't know, just the way I am, dude. I like I sometimes I want to buy them ahead of time, but then I always think like, nah, SeatGeek will have them cheaper. So I've been watching SeatGeek
Mm-hmm.
honestly every day, just like a hawk. And as soon as they dip to, I don't know, a reasonable level, like right now, man, like
What's the
the
lowest?
middle, the lowest is like $118 for
Mm-hmm.
nosebleeds, and that is like, my
And
God, dude.
yeah, and what's it
And the,
called?
the
Toyota Center nosebleeds aren't the greatest.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like every time I've gone like the middle section, like not the lower and not
300,
the highest.
400s.
Yeah, somewhere around there, and they've been anywhere between. I think the most I spent for them was like 165 each ticket. And right now, those seats, those same seats, are like $345 each. And I'm like, no way, man. But in fairness, I think they're doing it too because there's two championships on the fight card.
Yeah,
So,
that's the
so
thing is you might
because
gotta put a little extra.
yeah, we're gonna. So I don't know, man. I've been watching it. I've been watching it like a hawk. And as soon as it gets down low, I'll message you and see if we pull the trigger to get some decent seats out there, man.
Yeah,
Because we're
Angel.
going. Because we're going.
Hell's yeah, of course. Angel, don't pick the beer up. Leave the beer in the fridge or wherever it is. But yes, thank you for telling me that I hope I have fun because I will have a blast. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into some. I just wanted to. So I have a few wrestling ones off the top of my head because I didn't really want to go and look like top moments of the year. So I think the top moment of the year I gotta say is
For wrestling?
the
For
yeah
wrestling?
for wrestling. The top moment of the year for me is the announcement of AEW.
Mm,
It's hard not to put that up there.
it has to
AEW,
be.
it may not have like lived up to the hype that it is right now, but I think just the fact that it's gotten started, it's hit a pretty decent stride. They were winning in the rank. They were winning in the ratings for basically the entire time until I think a few weeks ago. I think once Rhea Ripley won the title from Shayna Baszler, I think the ratings dipped for AEW, and people started to realize, oh, maybe NXT's putting out a better product, which isn't fair because NXT's been going on, has established characters and all that jazz. Whereas they're still trying to create characters. I think they're trying to find their stride in AEW. It'll get better. I think that AEW has shown that they're not going to be a one and done type company. I think they're going to be here to stay. I don't see them going anywhere, and just them announcing and going out on their own and creating what has basically a brand new wrestling company. Because I mean, everyone knows ROH, everyone knows Impact and all that stuff, but they can't get to that level, and I think AEW has already surpassed them in terms of like popularity.
Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, they're bigger than Ring of Honor and Impact and all those other places, but they also have way deeper pockets. They have,
Yep.
a build up. They have some stars that they started off with, which were the originators, basically.
hmm
But what I do want to say is this: is like, yeah, in this year, AEW, you have to put it up there, right? Like if another competitor to UFC came in, that would be a big deal, right? But what I also want to say as a big deal for this year for wrestling is you can't have one without the other. NXT's game stepped up because of AEW, and
Yes.
you wouldn't have the NXT that you have now if you didn't have AEW pushing Vince, saying, oh crap, we got competition now, so we need to step our game up. Where
hmm
can we where can we up it? We're already basically maxing out on WWE, and it's polarizing. You have some people that love it, you have some people that hate it. You have some people that hate to watch it, and it's still, you know what I'm saying? Like they still
hmm
watch it even though they hate it. And so they realized like, okay, we can't really do too much with WWE anymore because it's kind of topping out basically. But what we can do is we can make NXT a bigger player in this game and take market share from AEW even before they get on the road,
Yep.
running, and that's exactly what they did. So yes, AEW is a big part of it, but also AEW pushing NXT this year to become what NXT is now, I think is a big storyline for this year, man.
Definitely. And like you said, like it's the competition. It's they're pushing each other, and I think the best way to show it, and you can put this on top moments of the year, was NXT winning Survivor Series. Like
Hmm.
that to me, that's a big deal because I
Yeah.
would, if this was the NXT that was just on the WWE network before AEW, this doesn't happen. Think about last year at Survivor Series. Literally, Raw went undefeated basically against SmackDown. They blew them out because that's what Vince thought, was that everyone loves
Hmm.
Raw, blah blah blah. Even though at the time, I think at the time SmackDown was the better show, because for some reason when the brand split first happened recently, um, they were kind of switching back and forth of what was the better show. So like when the brand split first happened, SmackDown was the better show, and then the year after that, Raw had the better show, and then last year SmackDown had the better show.
Hmm.
This year, NXT has the best show.
Yeah.
NXT has a show that I go back every week and I watch. I may not watch live because I might be doing other things, or like I don't prioritize it because of the fact I can watch it the next day. But I that's the one that I will always go back and watch. I don't even go back immediately and watch AEW right away. I will go back and watch NXT first. So to me, that's the best product in wrestling at the moment. I know some indie wrestling fans will say otherwise, most likely because they watch a little more than I do. I can't always watch New Japan. I can't always watch Ring of Honor and all that stuff. I know Major League Wrestling is doing a lot of big things right now, just getting Killer Cross over there. But
Hmm.
I think the fact that AEW showing up, pushing NXT, has to be one of the biggest moments too, which led to that Survivor Series moment, which is so cool, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think that Survivor Series is kind of. I think we talked about it in depth, where it's like, hey, we're here. We're not a lesser product. We're on the same playing field, if not better.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a coming of age, or a coming of like we're here at the party now. We're at the table. And
Hmm.
I think that's again, that's due in part to AEW pushing the stakes and forcing the WWE and Vince and Triple H to up their game and say, what can we do to be different. And I mean, honestly, man, as a pseudo wrestling fan now, I think it's been awesome, man. Like people always say, competition, kind of brings out the best, I mean, this is it. I'd love to see something compete with the UFC, because we're kind of getting some still product in the sense, specifically that next card coming up with Connor. But I mean, you know what I mean. If you had somebody like a Bellator not putting on these I don't know, crappy fights, alternating with good fights, and they
Hmm.
were more consistent, like an NXT, you'd have UFC having to push their game up. So, kudos to wrestling and wrestling fans who get to see that great competition, and then for MMA fans, we just get to patiently wait and see if anybody's gonna push Uncle Dana to do something different.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with another moment that I just remembered because it's crazy how long ago it was. WrestleMania though, the triple threat match between Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda. I have to put that up there. The match may not have been the best match, but the fact that you finally had women main eventing WrestleMania, unfortunately, it comes after the show was going on for 8 hours, so everyone was pretty tired at that point. Which is something I hope that they kind of shrink down a little bit, and not every WrestleMania needs to be an entire
Mhm.
day, especially when you have
Ah,
people that are in the stands that have to be there all day, and eventually they just get worn out.
mhm.
But yeah, I have to bring up that main event.
What about Kofi? Was Kofi this year?
Kofi was this year. Kofi winning the championship.
I
That
think
was
that was
awesome too.
I think that was a big deal, man. I think that was a big deal this year too. Uh, I don't know, man. We thought it was gonna go a certain way, and it went a different way. Everybody wanted Kofi to win.
Hmm.
Um, I think a lot of people wanted a little more out of Kofi's reign, but being that Brock has played a different type of a champion than he used to in the past, where you said he was more active, and
Hmm.
then also with the whole Cain Velasquez storyline coming into it, it was I guess okay that he lost it the way he lost it, but I think that's a big deal, man. The first African American
Yeah.
champion in
Mhm.
WWE history, which it's a long history, man, and for him to be the first in 2019, I mean, I think it says a lot too, man.
Yeah, man. And it not even that his reign was lackluster. I think his reign was pretty decent. He was a fighting champion. It was more that we fans wished it would have ended differently,
Yeah.
given him more of a proper send off. Instead, they did the whole squash in order to get Kane in, which, in hindsight, hasn't led to anything. Like Kane hasn't been back since the event over there in Saudi Arabia. So it's like kind of happened for no reason. It's just weird. I don't know.
He's turning into UFC Kane.
Yeah, really weird. One match that I'm gonna put in my top of my favorite moments of this year, and I'll lump it in with another moment, is the match between Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes that led to my appreciation and love for the character of Darby Allin, which I think could be a staple in AEW. I really think he can be the Jeff Hardy, but sober, not getting in trouble for drinking and stuff. The sober Jeff Hardy. And people are always going to flock to that character. It's always going to work. And it's just something about Darby Allin, man. That is, I honestly think before the year is over next year, he will be a champion in AEW. He will be AEW.
That's a. Hey, man, you can't be giving away our first episode of 2020. The predictions for the year. You can't be doing it on the year.
I'm sorry. We'll say that for the next time.
But that's a pretty. I would say that's a pretty
bold.
Honestly, no, I don't think that's bold. I was gonna say the opposite. That's probably conservative, man, because he's just that good, you know.
Right? That could be like happen like the first week or so.
That's what I'm saying. He'd be there the whole year. I was gonna ask on this. You want to do just in ring stuff and story, because I think one of the bigger things too that happened this year in wrestling was the Sasha Banks ordeal, man, and the different wrestlers wanting their release from the WWE to test the waters.
That is big. That is big.
And then also the kind of like it was a big deal to begin with Sasha, one of the biggest stars in the women's division of the women's side, basically, you know, tapping out and saying, you know, and whining about it, not, you know, because she wasn't the one to get the spotlight. And then a lot of backlash from old school wrestlers telling her that, you know, that she didn't, not that she didn't pay her dues, but that's part of the game basically, and you're whining for no reason. I thought that was a big deal, but then I think probably an even bigger deal is how WWE just stepped in and kind of enforced their contract and said you ain't going anywhere. You know, like you're not gonna go anywhere. You can mope and whine, or you can take this extra extension that we're gonna give you, take some more money, cash loads of money, and come back and do what you're doing and what we ask you to do. And she signed on the dotted line and she came back. So that just shows you, man, WWE has hand, man. They got the money.
It's like the $1 Million Man said, everyone's got a price, and she had one. Everyone has a price. But yeah, she kind of started she was one of the big proponents of that movement of asking for a release. She was one of the ones that didn't get it, but like we have guys like most recently Luke Harper, who did get his release.
He got his release, yeah.
He got his release, and I think he's gonna be in AEW pretty soon. Him and Cody are really tight. And yeah, other people throughout the, Hideo Itami, who's now Kenta over there in New Japan, going back over there to New Japan. And yeah, so yeah, it's a big deal. Like that was that, and that ties into the AEW thing of like they're automatically all of a sudden being this competitor overnight, and people saying like, oh, I can go over there and make some decent money. I still haven't seen any figures for wrestlers. I feel like they would come out with that soon, maybe, or maybe they'll wait for a little longer to where they have like more established stars.
Well, I think it has to be on good to better than pay to WWE, because if it was bad, they'd be saying it. You know, they'd be saying that it's bad.
Yeah.
And if it's good, you probably don't want to say too much, so you don't want other people coming and taking that pie. You want your friends to come over and get some of that money.
Yeah, true.
You know, so I think they're getting paid decently out there. Angel said that he didn't want Kofi to win.
Yeah, he's one of the few, because he said not true, but you're one of them. You're the minority. You're the minority.
The minority. Yeah, I mean, there's a minority out there. You know, we're not gonna lie. There's a minority.
I get it.
I don't know. When did you start not liking Jordan's, Angel? I don't know, because Kofi wears Jordans to the ring. That's why he's one of my favorite wrestlers.
He does wear those nice Jordans. So wings.
When did Angel start hating Michael Jordan? That's what I want to know. When did that happen?
When LeBron came around.
Oh man.
No, I don't know. No, I don't know. Did I ever tell you about the argument I got into my dad? Me and him got into like a shouting match because I told him that even if Jordan was there, I mean,
Angel never wore Jordans.
oh yeah, he was a Converse guy. I remember that. So me and him were getting into an argument because I told him that even if Jordan was there in that 90, was it 94, 95 year, that the Rockets still would have won a championship.
Yeah, they would have.
And we got into it. He got mad at me, and we were yelling. We were both drunk, so it was friendly. We were okay afterwards. But come on,
those 2 years was a perfect storm of Dream playing at the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
But not just offensively, but defensively, and then him having the shooters around him to be able to do the inside out game to dump it into him, and he can do his thing, and if he gets doubled, he shoots it to a Robert Ory or to a Kenny Smith, or to a Vernon Maxwell. And Vernon Maxwell on defense too.
I was gonna bring him up. Yeah, that the only way to basically combat Jordan was to throw a psycho on him, because Vernon Maxwell is a legit. I'm pretty sure he's certified. Like, he should be inside of an institution. He's a psycho, and that was the only I think I saw the article say that like the only way to combat Jordan was to throw like a legit psychopath on him.
Yeah, he was the precursor to the Malice in the Palace when he went up there to fight some of the stands or the fans in the stands.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's this the documentary coming out on ESPN about Jordan and I don't know, something about Jordan and his whole streak. And I'm curious to see because there's some interviews or I think in his autobiography or something like that. There's some things where he gives a lot of respect and props to Hakeem. And I think I don't know because I know Jordan's very competitive. But I think he does say that he doesn't think they would have beat Hakeem. I think I got to go back and double check, but I think he says that.
Yeah, because I think I looked up his numbers against Hakeem, and his numbers weren't always great. Like, he never really had great numbers against Hakeem, just because I mean, when your game is built around your ability to get to the hole and to do these magic shots, like these crazy layups. Go ahead.
That's the thing, man. During that time frame when the Rockets won, and again, we won one time when he was in the league. They got bounced. I think
95, 96.
Yeah, they got bounced. So he was there, but he wasn't, I guess, full strength, whatever. I don't know. But when we won, he hadn't done his signature fadeaway shot.
Yeah, it wasn't there yet.
It wasn't there yet. So his shot wasn't there yet. And he was like you said, he was predicated on him driving to the hole. And don't get me wrong, he dunked on everybody. He dunked on Ewing, Mutombo. I'm sure he dunked on Hakeem, and but
I'm sure there's a video of it.
And still having Hakeem out there in his defensive prime with Vernon Maxwell out there, I don't think it's like, I'm not saying that as a homer. I'm just saying that team was a really, really difficult team to beat, and I don't think that those Bulls could have beat that team.
It was 2017 Houston Astros.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of fell into place.
Everything just fell into place. The trash cans were in the right place at the right time. The scouts were in the right place. Everybody just knew. Everybody just knew.
Someone's whistling in a sea full of people whistling. That must be a fastball.
The pitch of the whistling was just perfect. It was perfect.
Okay. All right, I got it. Angel, tell your mama I said hi. I haven't seen her in a long time.
I wear checks now, and I just put my Jordans in the closet. So
I have a pair of Nikes that I've had a pair of Nikes. It's like for like 5 years, and my girl keeps telling me to throw them out, but I don't buy shoes. No. I'm so bad about buying. I will not buy shoes. Like Crystal, she already told me that like as soon as the income tax check comes in, shoes. That's the first thing I got to buy is shoes. I was like, shoes and boots too, because my boots are messed up for work.
Oh yeah,
I can't get my damn foot out of them. I'm in the damn garage like for 5 minutes trying to get my boots off.
Steel toe.
Yeah.
Trap.
If OSHA walks into my shop, I'm in trouble.
So walk-in safety hazard right there.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into some Are you done with wrestling? I think I got my wrestling ones out the way.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and head to the UFC or MMA, as you would say. I think you'd be remiss to say just the whole Jorge Masvidal. His year he's having.
I mean, yeah, that's a
It's
big
one of my top.
deal.
It's one of my top ones. It's just
He's in my top five for sure. He's in my top five for sure. I think for me the biggest thing this year, and again, it's also, we have to think about recency bias and things like that. So that's
Mhm.
why Jorge Masvidal is kind of front of mind, and
Yeah, definitely.
Usman just fought, but we started the year with Triple C not
Ooh,
knocking out a
TJ.
doped up, an epoed up
Yep.
TJ Dillashaw,
Yeah.
and and saving the division 125, and we got the birth of the cringe of Triple C,
He
so
and he's legit saved the 125 because even when giving away the belt, they're having a
yes,
interim
interim.
title.
No, 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 no. It's not interim. It's
Okay,
for
it's
the,
for,
it's
okay
for the championship,
for the vacant championship.
for the vacant championship that he vacated.
Before Henry Cejudo, if he doesn't defend that belt, if he wasn't able to defend that belt, we're probably looking at the death of the flyweight division,
Everybody getting released. Everybody's getting
yeah.
released. Everybody's getting X.
Which
So
means guys like Figueiredo, Benavidez, all those guys, man, like
gone.
all those Brazilians down there.
All those guys snapped.
Yeah, man, it's
You know,
crazy. And now
you know,
we're gonna have Benavidez versus Figueiredo for
for
the
the
vacant championship, which is so cool.
yeah, which is really, yeah, it's really cool. Benavidez has gone the longest, or one of the longest times in between championship opportunities. But yeah, I mean, we started the year with Triple C, the birth of Triple C, and if you think about it, I mean, he fought. I think he fought. Did he fight one more time? I think he fought one more time. Yeah,
Who?
he fought Marlon Moraes,
Oh yeah. For the well, he defended the belt.
the 135.
Oh no, that was for the vacant one. That's for the vacant belt.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Dillashaw got
had
stripped. Yeah,
a,
yeah.
yeah.
So he won the championship. He defended his championship, and since then he hasn't fought. But he's been front of mind. He's been able to play up this cringy character. He's been on point, whether it's good or bad press, with his Instagram. He's been calling out intergender champions to fight Valentina
Valentina.
Shevchenko. So it's all in good fun, man. If you look at it, she's playing along with it too. But he keeps being in front of mind. So he's created, in my opinion, another one. Like he's done basically what Connor did, but to a different kind of level, because he's a wrestler guy, man. Like he's a wrestler promo guy. He's cutting
Mhm.
promos, excuse me, on Instagram left and right,
Yeah, he
and
is.
and he's
That
staying.
last one was bad. I didn't like that last one. The
And
one where
he's,
he got out the pool. I didn't like
yeah. Every time he comes out, when you say, "I didn't like that one," I didn't like that one.
I like
Every
the
time.
shirt. I like the shirt one. Remember when he had the shirt?
What did he say on it?
Because the first two were what was it? TJ. Uh, what was it? There was another one,
Triple
and then
C.
he
One of them
had
said Triple C on it.
and then he had the their diapers, right?
Oh yeah, he was
And
putting him to bed.
everyone was Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, yes, I like that one. I did like that one.
So he stayed front of mind, man. He stayed on his game, and he's really, I don't know, man. I just enjoy him, whether he's cringy or not. I mean, he's just
It's
he's on.
working.
It's working, man. And I like to see him. I like to see him fight. The thing is too, you can't deny him, man. You can't deny him in the octagon. He's a beast.
Mhm.
He's beating these top level guys in two divisions. He is an Olympic champion, so he can do what he wants basically. And he's been able, even though he's had surgery, he's been on the shelf since March. He's still coming up in everybody's mouth. He's still coming up in who's he gonna fight. Everybody wants to see him fight. So I think that was a big thing for 2019. The other big thing for 2019 that kind of sticks out to me was 185 pounders going up to 205 pounds and challenging John Jones, and
Getting
one of
knocked
them,
out.
one, one of them, well, both of them, one of them giving him a fight in Anthony Reinhardt Smith. He was there a little too early. He didn't perform like a lot of people thought he was, but he didn't he didn't get knocked out or anything. He went 5 rounds, and then two, your boy, the guy you like, Thiago Santos, uh, giving John Jones a run for his money,
Winning.
And in your opinion, winning, I mean, I say it's probably close. I have to go back and watch it again. But also doing it with two broken knees. He had two messed up ligaments in each knee. And us wanting to see that rematch. I think that was a big thing too for John Jones.
Yeah,
And
and
then go ahead.
and also kind of crazy that they both left the arena that night, showing like how much of a war that was. They both left the arena that night in a wheelchair,
Exactly, man.
which
But
is
but for different reasons. I
for different
mean,
reasons. Yeah, Thiago because he tore his ACL.
he had no knees left.
He had no knees left, and John Jones because he got his legs kicked over and
Oh,
over again.
repeatedly.
Like,
No checking those leg kicks,
ridiculous.
man.
Yeah. Uh,
So I think that was a big thing this year. And then the other big thing this year was DC and Stipe, man.
yeah.
DC
Yes.
DC and
Great fight.
Stipe. We saw the second fight of a trilogy that we're gonna get to see. Right, we're gonna get to the trilogy, right?
We should. Stipe said he's gonna hold out for a while,
I
because
mean,
he wants to do what the UFC did to him.
hey,
That was his
hey,
reason.
man, I can't get mad at that guy. I
Nope,
can't get mad at him.
can't either.
Uh,
He said he
but
wants
that
Tyson Fury though. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but he wants
I don't
him.
even want.
He
No,
just announced.
that can't happen because Tyson Fury is already locked in to fight
Yeah, yeah,
Deontay Wilder
yeah,
and that's going to be a badass fight too.
yeah.
But I mean, we got to see the second fight of the trilogy. It was going the same way the first one went for most of that fight until DC couldn't adjust and Stipe adjusted.
The body shot.
And yeah, the body shots. And man, if you look at it as a whole, the first fight, you can say DC got lucky, which he didn't, but you can say it. And then we got to see more of it in the second fight. And these guys are like, they're so closely matched, man. They're so closely matched because if DC keeps on his game and doesn't let up and adjust and doesn't give up those body shots, he wins that fight hands down because he was dominating pretty much again.
Yep.
If Stipe continues to adjust, continues to grow, continues to put pressure, and he can win too. So we're getting to see a trilogy that we're not gonna get to see, or we're not gonna ever get to see with John Jones with DC, and it's also a lot more competitive and fair than it was with DC at 205 with John Jones
Hmm.
and the juiced up roided John Jones.
Yeah, I gotta say that I'm so excited for that because it has to happen. That fight has to happen. Ngannou's locked up. Stipe says Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is now locked up. There's nobody else at heavyweight right now that's ready to challenge yet. Cormier is there waiting. I don't think either guy is hurt. They don't really need surgery. So really, it's just a waiting game of, I guess, probably. I'm assuming agents are going back and forth about the
Yeah.
numbers. But
Real
yeah,
quick,
go
real
for
quick, Jules is on. He said, "Great job, guys. Thanks, Jules. We appreciate you being on
it.
here,
Yeah,
man."
Miss Jules.
And then Angel said, "Can you explain to me what is up with Dude Orange Cassidy? What's up with keeping his hands in his
I
pockets?"
saw that. Orange Cassidy. All right. So the whole Orange Cassidy thing, I think I've seen you some videos of Orange Cassidy. His
Mm-hmm.
whole thing is he just doesn't care. He's too cool for school. That's his whole character. He's too cool. He doesn't care. He's always got his hand in his pockets. He does those lazy kicks, and man, I don't know what it is. It shouldn't work, and it works for me. I love it. It makes me pop every time. I pop every time he comes on AEW.
You're like, yes.
It's not for everybody. It's not like that's one of those characters. It's not for everybody. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm not going to be able to convince you to like it. All you can do is this. Maybe you'll keep watching. Eventually, you'll be like, okay, I get it. But maybe even then, once you get it, you still might not like it. You'll just be like, I get it, but not for me. But yeah,
Not my thing.
yeah. And also, Angel said something right there above Jules. He said that you should have seen me when I had my long hair and my Vans, and that they used to say that Corey Taylor was my dad. And he said, because I knew I was a big Slipknot fan back then. I'm still a big Slipknot fan. And I had the same Vans that he wears.
Which is a Slipknot that I like. I only like one or two songs.
Probably not Wait and Bleed. Duality, where it's like I stick my fingers into my eyes.
I don't know, man. I gotta go back.
Either that or Before I Forget. Those are like the popular ones. And Angel said that makes him laugh. That's the point of Orange Cassidy. You're not supposed to take him seriously. He's gonna make you laugh. He's not
And
gonna
he's
be
not.
winning any championships anytime soon. So just enjoy it. Like that's the way I say it. I look at it. Is just enjoy the character. If you don't like it, if you
But
don't like it, don't
can you
complain.
imagine him falling into a championship because he doesn't care?
Oh,
He falls into it.
oh, that'd be hilarious. That would be the funniest thing. And that like maybe the story is that he doesn't even really want the championship, but he keeps like winning, not on purpose. He's just kind of like,
Yeah, and then like he uses the belt for like different things, like as a TV coaster or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't
yeah.
even care about it.
Well, his big thing is that he kind of drifts from like place to place. So there was one he posted one picture of him like like on a bridge somewhere, uh, and it looks like they're in California or something. He just like laying up against the bridge, and some like they tweeted, just seeing Orange Cassidy, can't tell if he's awake or asleep. He's got the sunglasses on. He's just kind of like leaning up against the bridge like this. I'm
That's
like, yeah,
funny, dude.
it's hilarious. Like it's something funny and not meant to be taken seriously. So marks out there, wrestling marks, calm down. It's not that serious. You know my relationship with wrestling Twitter. I hate it. I hate it.
Dude, hey, dude, MMA Twitter's man, dude. Like,
They're
I,
both.
I hate. Yeah, they're broken, dude. I hate to say it, like, God, it just sounds so whack. Like, there's a lot of casuals on there, but there's a lot of people that think they know like a lot of UFC and stuff, and then you catch what they're saying. It's like, oh my God, man, like why? Like why do my eyes have to even read this, man? Like,
You know what it is? It's the people that like want to call out casual. So it's like, oh, someone has a different opinion than yours, so they're a casual. That's
yeah,
ridiculous. Like, come on, man. Like be like to me, like that's how you kill an argument. Like you say something like that, I can't argue. I can't even have a debate with you anymore because
yeah,
there's
and
no
that's the
point.
thing. Like, I don't mind people. I definitely don't mind people coming into the sport, newer people that have been around for 1, 2, 3, 5 years. That's great. Like, that's what I want. I want this sport to be seen on a major scale because
Mhm.
it's such a great and beautiful sport, in my opinion.
Yep.
So I don't mind that at all. What I do mind is when that guy who's been here for 6 months and he says Connor's the greatest of all time and he can be champ at 145, 155, and 170 next year. I'm like, oh man, why? Like, why do you even say that? Like,
You know what it is? It's the gatekeeper community. I think it's like it's the gatekeeper because there's gatekeepers in all fandoms where like, oh,
hmm
I like this. I like this way before it was popular, so you can't like what I like. Like, no, we should be inviting. We should be welcoming everyone that loves the new, like brand new to this and loves it. I'm brand new to UFC and I'm absolutely in love with it. Like, I love talking about fights. Talk fights all the time with people now that tell me they like UFC. I'm like, oh, dude, did you see this? I enjoy that. Like,
hmm
and this is me. I was a casual. I think I'm more like not formal. I'm not a
You're
diehard yet, but I'm like
you're getting there, bro. You're getting there.
I have the tuxedo shirt. I'm
Yeah, you're showing up in a
yeah.
tuxedo shirt. Yeah.
I'm the tuxedo shirt where I'm not completely a diehard yet. I don't know everything, but I'm here to party. Like I can hang. I can hang with people talking.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, like Angel said, that's why I say that's Twitter because he would hurt a lot of feelings by proving to them how stupid they are.
I just don't like to. How does that saying go? I forgot who said it, so I'll look it up. But it says something like, be careful when you argue with stupid people because from afar people can't tell which one's which or something
Which
like
one's
that.
which? Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why I just don't tell them anything. Just whatever, man. Just honestly, man, this is what I've been doing. It feels so good. Like if I see a dumb take like that, man, I'll go to the little thing. If they follow me, okay, cool. I'm not. I'll just mute them. I don't
Yeah,
want to. I don't just don't want to hear them, man. Because there's no reason for me to be seeing that stuff. Like there's stuff that I've seen on there that's like really really, thought provoking stuff. Like I think some guy, this is for boxing Twitter, some guy wrote on there, man, you know, I don't know, I'm gonna get beat up on my what's it called, my comments or my timeline, whatever, but I want to see Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder, and I really think that Ruiz wins 9 out of 10 times. And
whoa,
some guy asked him, yeah, like I was like, man, that's a pretty interesting
interesting. Yeah,
take. And so some guy asked him why, and then he went in depth. Why? Ruiz has hand speed, he has power, he can take punches. He's not a scrub, and I was like, man, that makes a lot of sense. Like now I want to see that fight. You know what I mean? That's the content that's like, man, I want to see more about that for UFC and MMA
yeah,
instead of this BS that we had, the cesspool Now we have.
It's because what it is that people, instead of doing what that guy did, where he says, why do you think that? They go,
Yeah.
they attack, they jump, they want to like have some kind of argument and just be loud and mean
They
instead of
troll. They
and
troll.
yeah,
They
it's
tr-
the same thing with movies.
they try to get clout. Like, oh, this is Andy Ruiz's burner account saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like some
Yeah,
shit like that.
like
Whatever.
it's the same thing with movies. Like, and we're gonna get into movies pretty in depth later. But like, yeah, same thing with movies where people just wanna if someone doesn't have the same opinion as you, instead of hearing them out and hearing what their opinion is, they wanna be loud and just and toxic and it's ridiculous. It's the reason why people like Daisy Ridley got off of Twitter or got off of social media.
What's that girl too from Star Wars 2?
Marie Tran,
Yes,
something like
yes.
that. I think her name is like Marie Tran, something like that. Yeah,
Kathy Marie Tran or something like that. Yeah.
basically, and like that was like one of her first big roles, and going after her on a personal level, and she had nothing to do. She just played. She just read the script. She acted the way she was directed. Like she did. That wasn't.
She did a great job, man. She did a
Yeah,
great job.
she was given. She was given what she was given. She did what she could with it. And instead of like welcoming her into the community, like they've been doing with Gina Carano, which is fantastic to see. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that with her. They just basically like they were like, oh, we didn't like your character, so now we don't like you. And it's like, dude, chill, man. Like, relax. It's not that serious. All right, so I want to do something interesting right here because I don't know if you know what culture is kind of known for having very interesting takes on things. So right here, they did their UFC awards for 2019. I want to know what you think of them.
Who did them?
What culture? Do you know what culture?
No, I don't know.
All right. Well, they're known in the wrestling community as being kind of against the grain. I would say they don't.
Trollish.
Sometimes, yes. They have their best of 2019. I have not. I've never seen their UFC stuff though. I've never seen their UFC stuff. So I don't know if it's the same as their wrestling stuff. But I just want to go through because I kind of agree with maybe a few of these. So like the first award, upset of the year. Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
That's a big one. But hold on real quick. One last thing for this year, UFC.
Oh, go ahead.
Champions losing their belts.
That was a big one.
That was a big one. We didn't talk about it. Tyron Woodley.
Let's go real quick. Tyron Woodley.
Robert Whittaker.
DC. Dang.
Namajunas.
And then Andrade.
Max Holloway, TJ
Dillashaw.
So I mean that's almost every
really only not lightweight.
light heavyweight either.
Sorry. Adesanya went. Oh, right. You said Whittaker. My bad.
Yeah, Whittaker lost.
Yeah, man.
Whittaker was
so crazy. It's literally just what it's just flyweight because Cejudo didn't lose his belt. And then, well, I guess. Oh wait, he got it. My bad. He got it stripped. Not bad. He did it. Jesus, dude, it's literally only Khabib and John Jones.
135. Nunes didn't lose.
Oh, Nunes didn't lose. Yeah.
Yeah, but she took Cyborg's belt at 145.
Yeah,
so the double champ. So yeah, man. I mean, champions losing their belts. That was this year. That I'm honestly, man, that rarely happens, man. That rarely happens. So
I think it was a good year. It's returning back to the matchups. It seems like where you could lose to anyone on any day.
Exactly, man. So biggest upsets, man. Biggest upsets this year.
Let's go up. Yeah. I know it's probably not as big, but a lot of people were expecting Gastelum to beat Adesanya.
That's not as big. They're very evenly matched. I would probably say, I don't know. You just doing championships?
No, I just was saying whatever. That's the first one that came to my mind because I was like, I know everyone was saying that. Oh, okay. I guess what culture's UFC stuff sucks too. So
I would say what's the guy's name? Corey Anderson and
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker.
Yeah,
I think that was a pretty big upset.
That's a good one.
Let me see what else. There was another one that we talked about that was a big underdog and ended up winning.
Yeah, look it up.
I don't know. No, I mean, let me see.
It's hard to come up with the top of your head.
Yeah,
so many damn fights.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many fights, dude. Let's go to the next one. What else did they say, man, that you kind of agree with?
All right, so the next one, I believe, is comeback of the year, and I kind of agree with this one too. Stipe versus Cormier. The comeback that he had in the middle of in that round.
So they're talking about just in the round, like in
Yeah,
the
like Stipe.
coming back.
Yeah,
Uh,
a comeback.
yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one because he adjusted and he was getting dominated pretty much.
Hmm.
So I would say that one. Let me see. Come back in the middle of a fight. In the middle of a fight. In the middle of a fight.
I'm seeing if they don't really put any like
Other ones, honorable mentions.
yeah, they don't do any honorable mention, which is something I probably would have done writing this article.
I mean, you could put Andrade on that, man. I mean, Andrade is getting
Yeah.
Andrade. The first round was probably the worst beating anybody's ever taken in a
Mhm.
woman's, you know, championship fight for a whole round, like getting dominated, just straight dominated.
And then
You
remember
know,
what I said in the middle? I think right before it went to the what was it, the second round?
the second round was the second
I
round.
I would mention to you, I was like, she's got to put her away.
Yeah,
Namajunas has to put her away. I just felt like something big was going to happen, and then
and
boom.
and it did, man. So you can say that's a big comeback. I mean, if you told me before that fight that Namajunas is gonna have that round and then lose the fight, I would have said, bet me or something. I would have bet you all day because that was a dominating round. That was one of the most dominating rounds. That was at the very least a 10-8 round, if not a 10-7 round. And she didn't even get, well, she did get rocked a couple times, but she lost, afterwards. So that's a big comeback in my book.
Here's one that isn't necessarily a comeback, but I had them dead. I basically had them dead in the water in the end of the first round, and that was that Nunes Duraname fight because I seriously thought that Duraname was giving up her back, giving up basically just letting Nunes have her way. Got to the next round, and all of a sudden, Duraname kind of gives Nunes probably the hardest test she's had in a long time.
I agree. That was a good one. I don't think it was like a comeback because she didn't win,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
but
Not necessarily, but just the fact that
honorable mention. Honorable mention.
yeah,
She punched above her weight class in that one. Which is interesting in a in a UFC fight as far as the metaphor. But yeah,
yeah,
she did a lot better than we expected, and I would agree with that one. I guess you can put that on there.
yeah, that's like a not necessarily a comeback, but I would put it as basically someone was. I had them dead. I had them done. Like I
A,
didn't see
a,
them coming back.
a better performance than you expected after the first round.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, we'll go to the next one.
Yeah.
So this is female fighter of the year, and you might not agree with this one. You already know I'm biased, so I'm gonna step out of it. Wei Li Zhang. I'm gonna step out of it. I'm gonna take a step back. I'm not gonna say anything except that Wei Li Zhang's the best. But what do you think about that?
I
So
mean, she's up there,
I'm looking
but
back. So she had her 3 rounds with Tisha Torres, where she
that
basically
that that's
with
what
her,
makes me kind of like because Tisha Torres, like we said, she's on a big losing streak,
but
and
she basically destroyed her for 3 rounds.
yeah, but she went through. She didn't put her away though.
All right, you're right.
You know,
Yeah. And uh, then getting her knocking out Jessica Andrade in 42 seconds.
but that's it though, right?
Yeah, that's it. So that's why I was like, you probably won't agree with it, and that's why I'm not going to say anything because I'm biased because I want her to be female fighter of the year. But in terms of like actually looking at it from a unbiased standpoint, I wouldn't give her female fighter of the year.
I just feel like
Not enough. This is 2 fights. It's not
yeah,
enough.
like you look at what Shevchenko's done,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
You look at what Nunes has done, even though, and that's the thing, Nunes was in a war with Durandamy, and she came out on top and she showed a different way that she can win. She
yeah,
showed her going through, perseverance basically for going through a battle. And she
yeah.
came out on she came out on top. And she did that. She fought who else did she fought?
She had Holly Holm knocked her out.
She
When
knocked out Holly Holm. So I mean, her I'm thinking of maybe Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I mean, she kind of had a comeback too this year. I think she had 2 or 3 wins. I'll look her up real quick.
Yeah, I'm actually looking, seeing who else could be possible female fighter of the year.
I
Uh,
was gonna say Irina Aldana, but she lost. She lost this year.
she did lose. So like, see, like the first I pull up one on Yahoo, and the first thing they point to is Wei Li, but they actually gave her 2019 Sports Female of the MMA Fighter of the Year. It's so crazy. I guess maybe because of the amount of time that she like uh jumped up. I guess like went from
Trying to
nobody, no name to so yeah. This one has Jurjejic.
She only had one fight though. Michelle Waters said until she got beat, she was going on a run.
Yeah. See, like this one has, because then this one has like, I guess this is just female MMA athlete. I don't know why they would have Ronda Rousey here, but I guess because she's popular. This is odd. But then
There's
they have Cyborg here.
I would say it's either Nunes or Shevchenko.
I'm gonna say
The-
I think I'm gonna go Shevchenko.
That's not a bad. I mean,
More
I can't
impressive.
argue.
I guess more impressive. If Nunes had knocked out Durandamy,
Well, what's more impressive to you? That be her knocking out Durand to me again? It might have been second time, or how she won right now? You know, going through adversity and still. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like it sucks because you're like, man, it was a difficult fight for her.
yeah.
But it
And,
was a difficult fight for her, and she came out on top.
and Shevchenko, had a tough time against Carmouche.
Oh, that's true. Remember?
Had a tough time against Carmouche, but then I can't get that Jessica I knockout out of my head. That's where I keep going, is that knockout, that head kick, which is, even though Nunes has a head kick knockout too, it just wasn't as, I don't think it's not as flashy as that freaking head kick. She looked like she killed Jessica I. It's hard not to say. Hard not to say Shevchenko. I think Shevchenko.
Let's go with Shevchenko. I'm okay with that.
All right.
Armbars and Suplexes endorses Shevchenko 2020.
2020. she might win. She's probably gonna win in Houston, and I'll be cheering for her. All right, this one I kind of agree with this one. So this is the Rising Star, and I told you I'm a big fan of this guy. I know you don't like him, Edmund.
Oh no, I don't like that guy.
I know you don't like him. I know you don't like him. You cannot lie that this man has had an impressive year.
I don't like him. There's so many people besides him, man. Like, how many people on Contender Series? You got Rosenstruck. You got
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You got Jorginho. You got
You just said the same guy.
Oh yeah, that's his first name. Yeah. We got Rosenstruck. You have who else came out of that did good?
One I have right now, even though I don't know if you would necessarily say she's a rising star, but Irene Aldana.
Yeah, she's a rising star. She lost, but she did really good in her last fight, and
all of a sudden people are talking about her as next number one contender for Nunes.
Yeah, she's a tough girl, like she is. She's a rising star, you could say that. But there's just so many, man. I mean, there's who else? I mean, you could look at Calvin Qatar in a loss.
Calvin Qatar,
and that's a rising star. You have Peter Yan. You have are you looking more like prospects going into like superstardom, basically? That's what you're trying to do, like?
I guess that's so. I'm trying to look at what they had for here. I just think they're going with the fact that I guess he's a nobody. He's 22 years old,
but he's not a nobody, man. He's the brother of a MMA
I didn't know
coach.
I didn't know who he was. He's 22 years old. Has an impressive. The first fight I watched him. He had the basically he was basically punching the guy out, and the guy gave his back up and got the rear naked choke, and the first round, and then the impressive knockout in the first round. Again, I wish I had who he was.
So are you describing him, or are you describing Pua? Because Pua did the same thing.
He has two.
He knocked out a guy in Contender Series, and then his first.
Okay.
Hold on. And then his first fight in the UFC, he knocked the guy out and won a performance of the night.
And it's impressive. But it's the Contender Series, which is fantastic. I love the Contender Series. I'm not going to downplay Contender Series. That's a big deal. But then you have the one fight. If he if he would have had one more in the UFC, like before the year ended, that's why I wish that I think that Contender Series has to start, like, if you're gonna do only one, you got to have it in the beginning of the year. So you give those guys a little bit more time to fight, more times than just the one time, because I don't think any of the Contender Series guys have fought more than once yet.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they've all just fought once, and I don't even think all of them have fought yet.
I know they haven't. Some of them fell through. Like what's that guy's name?
Brock Weaver.
Brock Weaver fell through.
Oh, he's gonna be mine next year.
We were excited to see him fight. I mean, I'll give you him, man. I don't like him, but I mean, I can see where it's coming from. He just has a lot of hype. I feel like he's Sage Northcutt all over again.
Yeah.
Too much, too fast.
Okay.
We'll see.
My one thing about him is, though, that he doesn't look as impressive as the other guys in the 180 division. Like if he was in the in the or 185, if he was fighting at 170, I think I'd be a little bit more like, yes, this guy's gonna be a champion before the end of the year. But dude, those guys at 180 or 185 are so damn big. Like, and he's more of a scrawnier guy. That's what's scary.
Well, but look at the champ though.
I know, like freaking ripped like crazy. And Shabazian looks like
yeah, but
he looks like I looked in high school.
But Adesanya's 28 years old, 29 years old. So
yeah, you're right. He can come in his body.
That's what I'm saying. He's still gonna come in his body, and if the UFC's smart, they'll bring him along slowly to allow him to fill into his body and not give him some freaking beast up front that can hold him down and wrestle him and knock him out.
Yeah.
And just hand him some strikers and then he'll go from there. But I mean, that's what it is with prospects, man. You gotta.
Yeah. So there's more, but I understand why you don't like them. I have them up there as like my more impressive of the up and coming fighters. We'll see where that leads. And Angel, we were just talking about best rising star of the year, and they said Edmund Shabazian.
Man, those strippers on Snapchat, they get the best of us, man.
They will, man. Just don't send them any. Just don't send them any money. All right, I think we're both going to agree with this one. Most disappointing fighter, TJ Dillashaw.
Most what fighter?
Disappointing. Just because of the PEDs. That's all it is. That's literally the entire.
I mean, I don't know. This is a tough one for me because, I mean, if you look back, people have been having rumors about him before when he was in Team Alpha Male. I mean, he just got caught, and he got caught with EPO, and EPO is something that you can't say it was from a tainted supplement. Like, you had to be knowingly taking EPO.
Mm.
So he knowingly, juiced. So I don't think that's disappointing. I think that's fucking disgusting. Like a, I don't know, just stupid. Like, disappointing to me, in my opinion, is like a Rose Namajunas. To me, that's disappointing. Like, you dominated, you got knocked on your head. I mean, there's a great video that ESPN and Dominic Cruz, ESPN and Ariel Helwani tweeted out about Dominic Cruz that 3 years ago today, we got this great post-fight conference reaction from Dominic Cruz when he lost to Cody Garbrandt.
Mm-hmm.
And he stood up there and they asked him all these questions like, are you upset? He goes, nah, man. I mean, it's part of the game. Losing is part of the game. And then they said that there were some rumors about his health coming. He goes, no, man. He goes, I was 100%. And he just got the better of me. I got to look at some of those exchanges. He said, basically saying that losing is part of the game. You have to learn from it. Mm-hmm. Everyone's going to lose at one point or another. And it's how you come back from it. Yeah. Now, Rose Namajunas is she's a special fighter and she's different. We all know that she's different. She's had some issues with anxiety, stuff of that nature. And then the thing with Conor didn't help any because she was in that bus when Conor went stupid.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry. He's my most disappointing.
Conor?
Yes. Because you have it all. You have it all, and you're throwing it all away for something that's probably going to come out very soon.
Man, it's a story as old as time, man. I mean, I'm not disappointed in him. I'm like, this dude, he should know better. He's 100 millionaire, being a dummy.
Yeah, don't kill anybody. But I think I'm gonna agree with you with Rose. I think Rose is the most disappointing because she was winning that, and I mean, I think that when she comes back, she should get a title shot right away. But
I don't know, man. That's the other thing too.
I just don't know where she is.
One of the things that I think pushed her away was the spotlight and how much burden she had on her and expectation. So I don't know. Maybe start her off not at the bottom, but like in the middle or something. I don't know.
I actually think she told Ariel Helwani that she wants to have a few like fights without the championship where she was because she said she had to go and I think watch her brother or someone who's a MMA fighter and go to some of his events, and she said that's where she found her love again because she just stopped loving it. She didn't, and this is one of those sports that if you don't love it, it's hard to do. It's kind of how I feel about wrestling. If you don't love it, it's a hard thing to do. It's not easy. It doesn't pay very well in the beginning.
Yeah.
It takes a lot out of you.
Same thing for MMA, man. If you're in the indies and the bottom of the preliminary card, you're not getting paid a lot, you know.
You gotta love it. If you don't love it, you're not gonna. There's no point in doing it. And I think that's one that she has to get that love back. And I hope she gets that love back because I want to see her fight again this year.
Yeah, man.
She was so good in that first round, man.
Yeah, so for me, she was the most disappointing in 2019. Not in a controversial way, in the like, man,
just like that, man.
Yeah, she should keep fighting, and it sucks that we don't get to see her fight and ply her trade. Not in a controversy outside of the octagon.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a I'm a doper and a juicer, you know, and I don't know. Dillashaw just rubs me the wrong way, dude.
All right. All right. Next one, submission of the year, and this is one I do not agree with.
Which one?
Submission of the year.
Oh, which one?
They have Damian Maia versus Ben Askren. It's a good submission.
When did they post it?
I don't know. So maybe they didn't see the tornado.
The twister.
Yeah, the twisters. Because that's the one I got. I got Thug Nasty, man.
Like, that's gotta be hands down the submission of the year, dude. That twister is so nasty, dude. It's like, and it's the same way, man. I feel like it's deja vu, history repeating itself. Thug Nasty saying he learned it on YouTube. I mean, you can go back and watch the Korean Zombie, and when they do it, because he had a translator. I think he said he learned it on YouTube from Eddie Bravo. You know, so I don't know, man. I just think that's the best one. That's a super hard submission to pull off. Especially, first of all, it's hard in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to do. Second of all, it's harder in MMA because you don't have a gi to work with, and you're also getting punched. Yeah, you're getting punched in the face. You're sweaty. You know what I mean? So for him to do that,
that's the steps. Like, it's crazy.
You know what sucks is that without that submission, it makes it a better like category because that's hands down the submission of the year, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah, because that Damian Maia and Ben Askren submission is impressive. Like, I mean, but you don't expect different from Damian Maia, but
but that one's impressive for different reasons. That one's impressive because those are two
guys that can go on the ground.
Those are two of the best grapplers in the game, and for one to catch the other one in a submission is a big deal. So that reminds me whenever Frank Mir fought Big Nog, and Frank Mir and Big Nog are two of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu heavyweights of all time, man, hands down. And Frank Mir caught Big Nog in a what was it, Americana, and you know, and just like I didn't expect Frank Mir to tap. Big Nog didn't tap, and he broke his shoulder. You know, and that's huge, man. That's huge. That's like, and that's so I get why they're saying that's a big submission because it's two of the best grapplers in MMA. Mm-hmm. But the twister is just hands down.
Yeah, there's another one. This might be the same thing with the knockout of the year. It's on Ben Askren. That's not. I know it's because of the popular thing to say. That's knockout of the year. It's the avatar of knockouts.
Yeah, I mean you can't go 2 scrolls on your timeline without seeing that knockout. I mean they have T-shirts of it. They have different. I mean
there are other ones like I would put Rosenstruck knocking out not Arlovsky, the dude he fought before Arlovsky. Was it not Rothwell? It was the guy who was beaten up on he's beaten up on Greg Hardy before Greg Hardy kneed him in the head.
Oh, it starts with the C. Allen Crowder.
Yeah, Crowder. The knockout on Crowder, which is
when he knocked out Overeem and he split his lip. I mean, that was that was a Hail Mary knockout. You know.
What was the other one? Not Jorgen de Castro. I don't even know who he fought.
I think it was was it by kicks?
No, it was the one coming forward. It was one of those Samoan dudes.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Was it Tua? It wasn't Tua, right? Tuivasa?
I think it's Tafa or something.
I don't remember that one.
It's the guy who was fighting Juan Adams at the next event, in the Houston event.
Ilir Latifi?
No. That he's fighting that Latifi's fighting
Derek Lewis.
Yeah. Juan Adams is fighting I want to say Justin Taffa or something like that.
Oh yeah. It's him.
Yeah. Justin Taffa. That knockout was insane because like it didn't even look like it looked like Justin Taffa was coming forward and just
He just
Oh,
tapped him. Yeah, he just tapped. I remember. I
and it
remember
wasn't
that
even.
one.
It didn't look like it was hard. It just looked like you hit him right on the button and he was out, like cold.
Well, dude, you're forgetting Masvidal knocking out Darren Till too. That happened this year.
Big one.
And that was a Hail Mary one too, because he was getting dominated to that point.
Yeah, there are some ones that are on the list, but I think it's the Askren and the Masvidal one.
The Johnny Walker knockouts. He had 2 in 18 days.
Yeah, that was insane. Why am I'm blanking on another one? Dang it. I was just thinking of it and I didn't say it when I thought of it.
Man, look, we've been very biased, man. But one of the
Shevchenko or I?
that's what I'm saying. One of the ugliest knockouts is Shevchenko knocking out I with a
Uh,
nasty head kick that sounded like a bad hit her head, man.
yeah, that was. I think that's probably my second. That's probably
Yeah,
my.
I would say that yeah, that's probably the second best of the year. Those two right there are like really good.
Yeah, those are the two ones. So you can go back and forth, but I'm gonna say Masvidal Askren.
Hmm
2 sec. I know it's 5 seconds, but it's 2 seconds. It was 2
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah, it was 2 seconds, man. That was crazy. And then
Uh,
he tried to do it against Nick Diaz too, or Nate Diaz too.
yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. That was a pretty good one to think of all the other ones. Fight of the year. I think I might agree with this one. No, I'm not gonna agree completely. I have to think of some other ones, but I'm pretty sure we'll think of some other ones. But fight of the year, Adesanya Gastelum. It's up there.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
Top five.
Who
Um,
I think the John Jones Thiago Santos one is up there.
you know what? F it. Usman and Covington's up there.
Man, Usman and Covington is up there. That was up in the air until that last round.
Yeah.
Um, man, dude, can you imagine if Covington would have won? Oh man, I feel like.
The end of it.
um, yeah, I mean those are the three big ones right there, man. I mean, in my opinion, because dude, that Gastelum Adesanya fight was so good, dude. It was so good. It was such a high level.
That's
So
another one that was back and forth until Adesanya dropped him twice.
yeah, so listen, I think I would probably lean now towards the John Jones one, and this is why. John Jones versus Thiago Santos. I was telling you, Jones was gonna run through him like a buzzsaw. So that gave us an unexpected fight that was tight. Adesanya versus Gastelum, we both knew two high level guys, two guys that would do anything for that championship belt, and we saw it. They put their heart out there, they put it all on the line.
Definitely.
And same thing with Usman and Covington, two high level guys. They hate each other basically, and they put it all on the line. So because of that, I'm gonna go with John Jones and Thiago Santos.
Okay. I just thought of another another knockout. Because it happened twice. It was Adesanya and Whitaker because he knocked him out twice. He knocked him out.
The only time that somebody's been knocked out twice in a championship fight.
Yeah, because he knocked him out at the end of that first round. He got saved by the bell.
That
I
was
know
pretty
you.
bad.
I know you say the bell can't save the fighter, but the bell saved the fighter.
And that time the bell saved the fighter. Well, I mean, you're missing Triple C knocking out Dillashaw. That was a big knockout too.
But it was more like a TKO, wasn't it? Like that was more of a TKO.
He knocked him out, man.
All right. I think I'm gonna put that Whitaker out there because that was insane.
The double knockout, two knockouts in one fight.
That was crazy. I don't know if that'll ever happen again. All right, last award. I'm assuming is fighter of the year, and I don't agree with this one. They said Jorge Masvidal.
No.
I think I'm going Adesanya.
Let me see.
For male fighter of the year, obviously.
Male fighter of the year.
It's hard.
Adesanya's up there, but Adesanya who did Adesanya beat this year? He beat Gastelum.
He beat Gastelum. He beat. Then he got Whitaker. Who he fought someone before? He fought
Anderson Silva. He fought Anderson Silva. But I don't know if that was this year or at the end of last year. I think that was at the end of last year. Let me see. I mean, we're missing guys like Paulo Costa too.
Paulo Costa, but I don't know. Like he had a good fight against Yoel, but even then, like some people didn't even.
I mean, you could say Triple C too. I mean, Triple C.
Triple C. It's just like I said, it's just so far ahead, like behind that we don't even remember it. But yeah, Triple C for sure.
Well, Adesanya beat Silva this year, so he beat Silva, he beat Gastelum, he beat Whitaker. I mean, that's a pretty.
And then Masvidal has Till, Askren, and Diaz.
Yeah, but
three.
None of them are for a championship belt except the BMF belt, which doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Adesanya won the interim and then
And then,
beat the champion basically to get the belt. So
yeah.
those are bigger to me in my book. Those count for more.
Mhm.
Triple C to me, I mean, he beat 135er who was juiced up,
Then went
and
to.
no, he defended 135 against
And,
no.
well, no, he won it. He won the 135 because that was at one
Yeah. So at 125 he beat a juiced up guy,
defended.
defended his belt, and then he went up to 135 and won the interim against a really tough number one contender in Marlon Moraes
Hmm.
when everybody thought he was gonna lose, you know.
Yeah.
So that's two weight divisions for two championships. That's a big deal to me, you
Yeah.
know.
So, so who are you going with? I think I'm going Adesanya.
I'm going Triple C.
Okay.
I'm going Triple C. Just I'm trying to get rid of that recency bias. Adesanya had a great year, but I think that Anderson Silva is way past his prime. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't give him that much credit for that one.
So
And
it's two
then
fights against two for you,
it's
basically.
what?
It's
It's
kind of like two fights versus two fights for you.
yeah, two fights versus two fights. And if you look at both fights, uh, Adesanya against Gastelum was super close. You know, super close until that
Yeah.
last round. And then if you look at Triple C, he knocked out Dillashaw, and then he's I think he submitted or he knocked no, he submitted Moraes, right? Because Moraes got tired.
Yeah, Moraes gassed out in like the third or the second round.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know, I would pick Triple C, and the two weight divisions too. That's a big thing. Like I don't see Adesanya being a champion at 170 or 205. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Imagine if Holloway would have defended against Volkanovski. You could have put him up. I think you could have him up there too, because he
Who,
had.
Holloway?
Yeah,
No, because he lost. He lost at 155.
I think I was impressed like for going against one of the toughest. I mean, the strongest hands in the division, up a weight class, and then beating Frankie Edgar, and then just he won 2 rounds and just didn't he just didn't adjust early enough in that fight against Volkanovski.
Well, what about Volkanovski?
Jose Aldo and Holloway.
He
You?
had another. He had another one too.
I don't remember who he fought because I think I just started watching with the Jose Aldo fight, and he basically dominated. I think he dominated Aldo for those 3 rounds in Brazil too, which is
Mm.
impressive.
Yeah, that's the impressive part about it too.
In Brazil, so yeah, Volkanovski, I guess,
Oh
but
no, it's only those two fights this year.
right, okay. So yeah, but then he didn't he was impressive, kind of. He wasn't even impressive against Holloway. He was just like you said. He was fighting for points. He was point fighting.
Yeah, I guess.
Whereas
I
Holloway,
agree.
I think Holloway just couldn't get past the leg kicks.
Well, no, I don't think that. I think that the leg kicks threw his game off in the first round.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he couldn't
Yeah,
figure it out, and then he just figured it out just too late, a little too late, because he won rounds 4 and 5.
pretty
Uh,
much, basically.
if he would have figured it out in the third round, then we're not even having this conversation about Volkanovski.
That's true.
All right, that was just a little fun little game. Anything else you want to talk about in terms of this year in any MMA?
Mm,
I'm trying to think of anything. Cyborg going to Bellator is crazy.
yeah, but that I mean, we kind of saw that. We kind of saw that coming because of Dana White. I'm
Yeah,
thinking more. Didn't we have a fight in we had a fight in Saudi Arabia, right? Yeah, we had a fight in Saudi Arabia.
in Saudi Arabia. What? I'm trying to think of other stuff. I can't think of anything on top of my head.
Uh, I mean, the contender series is a big thing. That's something that it was already in place, but now it kind of blew up because of the ESPN Plus deal. Well, the
Yeah,
ESPN Plus deal that started this year.
that's the biggest one.
That
I didn't
started
just
in January.
here. That's
Yeah, so ESPN Plus contender series. Um, Dana White saying that this is the biggest year they've ever had, which that's a big surprise, but it's also kind of understandable because ESPN is in the fold now,
mhm.
and they don't have traditional pay-per-views like they did before. But I feel like they've been growing and they've been getting that ESPN money. So I think that's a big deal too. That this is the best year. This is without Conor didn't fight this year, right?
No,
Ronda Rousey didn't fight this year,
nope.
right? So they don't have like a huge star. They just have a lot of middle stars coming into their own, like Adesanya, like Usman, like Triple C, like people like that, like
Mhm.
Shevchenko, Nunes. A lot of middle tier champions starting to make waves and make names for themselves. So
Yeah,
that's a
I
big deal.
I think the big thing also is more events, so you can get more names on top of cards that aren't necessarily big cards, but getting names that can main event a card like a Cerrone versus Iaquinta. You know, that would never headline in the Fox era. I would that would not headline, and we got that, and it was a good 5-round fight.
Yep.
A really good 5-round fight that ended up getting him a fight against Cerrone, that fight against Tony Ferguson, which we know how that turned out, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, but you ended up getting. People were excited for that fight. I was excited for that fight, Tony Ferguson.
I was excited for that fight, but I already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, everyone did. And you just look at Cerrone's face after that fight, and you understand. But you know, I think this is also kind of a big year for Cerrone. I would think.
Yeah, Cerrone had a good little run there.
He's
but
getting his money fight this year.
Yeah, dude. He's about to get his money next year too, because he's always been a big fans fighter. He doesn't turn down any fights. He wants to fight whoever, and that's what happens. But that also gets him in trouble.
Yeah,
like if he had a little bit more management that would kind of guide his career, we would probably have seen him fight for the championship more by now, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's a company guy. He wants to fight. That's just who he is, and I'm okay with that. I mean, he puts on exciting fights, win or lose.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I would say but this ESPN Plus deal gave him a chance to really show that. I think that like the Iaquinta fight, taking that fight, I think what was it, 3-4 weeks against Ferguson?
Notice, yeah, it was a 4 weeks notice against
Ferguson, which is insane. And then now we're getting him versus McGregor, but it's a big year for him, and I would kind of put that in part due to ESPN Plus, man. Like ESPN Plus, that just putting more events. There would be what, like there were times where they were going 8-7 weeks of nonstop UFC.
Nothing. It was just a snowball, man. I think there was like 3 times this year where it was like at least 6 or 7 events in a row, man.
Yeah, which I hope, honestly, I don't want that to go away. I want that to stay the same.
It's funny because when I'm in it by like week 5, I'm like, oh,
another
my God. Yeah, and then when I'm out of it, I'm like, where's the where's the MMA, man?
I want an event right now. Like, why are we not having one this weekend?
Exactly.
They want to open the year with McGregor. Shoot me. All right. If you don't have anything else, what do you say we jump into the movie stuff, man?
Let's do the movie stuff, man. I'm excited about this.
Suplexes. Yeah. Do you want to go? All right. So we're gonna start. So basically, what we're doing is we looked at every year of the 2010s, basically from 2010 to 2019. We looked at them. We picked our favorite movie of that year. I didn't pick more than one, but I do have some that I'm gonna mention that I were really hard for me. Like when I had a hard decision, if you didn't say it, I'm gonna go ahead and mention it later. But yeah, so we just picked our favorite movie of each year. We're gonna see how our list is different. I think you're gonna be kind of surprised with my list, and I hope I'm surprised with yours.
Well, I picked. I guess I picked my favorite movie, but also what I think might be the best movie of that year.
Okay.
But it's really hard because I didn't want to pick all Quentin Tarantino movies because I love Quentin Tarantino. So I picked what I thought was the best movie, but also a movie that I really liked that year.
All right, I think I went for my favorite, but it's not like my favorite was like something that wasn't good. Like
I agree. I'm the same way.
So let's go with 2010. Do you want to start off? Or you want me to go?
Let me start off and then you go.
All right.
And we'll alternate.
Yeah, we'll alternate.
Okay, so for 2010, my favorite movie and what I think is the best movie that year is The Social Network.
Okay, interesting.
So the reason why is because one, when I saw it, like I saw that movie and it was in 2010. Facebook started in 2003, so it was 7 years after. And just kind of seeing like even now what Facebook is now, and how much they're ingrained into everyone's life with Instagram and all that stuff, it's just pretty cool to see that kind of how it went through and I don't know, it was just a good overall movie, very entertaining, very interesting to me. The other ones that were that year, I think the one that won the Oscar for best movie was The King's Speech. I didn't see The King's Speech in 2010. I didn't see it till like 3 years ago, 2016 probably.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a good movie, but I don't think it was the best movie. I don't think it should have won. I don't know. And then there's another movie, Black Swan, that I liked. That was with Natalie Portman. That one was kind of a weird movie.
Yeah.
That was also a top contender, but I didn't really put it up there in the same level. So
Yeah.
that was for me for 2010.
Okay, so I went. So those honestly, you're gonna not. I don't think you're gonna hate me. I didn't see Black Swan, but it's more because it's not really my thing. But I know it's a good movie. I just haven't seen it. Never saw King's Speech, and I don't know why, but Social Network just I keep missing it. I keep missing it. I
You haven't
keep
seen it?
watch it. No, I keep wanting to watch it.
Oh,
I haven't seen it. I'm a big Fincher fan too. I love Fincher.
dude, it's so good, man. It's so good.
That's like the one. Why the hell have I seen Curious Case of Benjamin Button, but I haven't seen? I don't know, but that's questions that I had to ask myself and probably cry about it. All right. So my movie that I went with was one that I watched nonstop. Like I can always go back to this movie. Every time I scroll by it on Netflix, I'm like, oh, this is on Netflix, sweet. And then I sit down and watch it a little. I watch a little bit of it, and that's Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh man, that came out in 2010.
Yes, that was 2010.
So
One of
go
my
ahead.
movies of all time. The amount of people that are in that movie. So you have Brandon Routh. You have what's her name? Brie Larson. You have
Hmm.
Chris Evans. You got not Coley not Coley McColgan, but the other one.
Kieran, is it Kieran or something?
Kieran Culkin. There you go, Kieran Culkin.
Hmm.
You have Anna Kendrick. Aubrey Plaza, like it's insane the amount of people that are in this movie. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and it's always hilarious to me. I laugh all the time. I
Yeah,
use
that's
I use the whenever Chris Evans is going downhill, whenever Michael Cera is going, wow. I use that. Like I love that movie like to death.
yeah. I mean, that's a good movie. I also didn't see that movie in 2010. I didn't see that movie till, man, I'm honestly probably 2 years ago, man. I always thought it was good. I think I've seen it in bits and pieces. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I never saw the whole thing. And I think it used to be a. Was it a comic book? I think it was a comic book or a book.
Yeah,
I think it was a book or something.
I think it was a
A book,
graphic novel or something.
graphic novel. Yeah, yeah. Uh, but yeah, man, I agree. That's a great movie. I
Uh,
don't think it's better than Social Network though.
that's fine. I like
uh,
some of these. I go for based on like how I rewatch them, like rewatchability, and also like what I think is the best. Like one that this is my honorable mention, Inception.
yeah, Inception was there.
I love Inception to death. Also, How to Train Your Dragon. I love How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, I
First
mean
story-
those were good too. Those were both good, but okay. So like if I put up, if it's just Netflix and it's Inception, Social Network, and How to Train Your Dragon or Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I'm probably seeing Social Network before all of those.
I'm going Scott Pilgrim, man.
Just because
I don't know.
I don't know, there's just so many parts in Social Network, dude. Like where he's like, I don't know, man. He's just portrayed as a fucking scumbag, dude. Mark Zuckerberg,
Yeah,
and just some other stuff. And I went back and like some other stuff that is on there, like they have firsthand accounts of exactly what he said or what was told to him or something, you know. So I just think it's pretty cool, man. I definitely recommend it. The King's Speech, Angel said that he's never seen. Oh no, that he said that it's a very good movie. I'm telling you, man. When I saw that movie, 2 years ago or a year ago,
I,
it was really good. It was a really good movie, man.
I'll watch it. And then he says, "Because I'm a weird dude." That's why.
But I mean,
That's
those
why
are just
I like
facts. Those are
Scott
big facts.
World. It is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to 2011. I'm gonna tell you, this is the one of those years that I was like, no, things that I loved in this one this year.
Yeah, man, I fell asleep all year on this year because this year was kind of whack.
So like, yeah, I had a hard time with this year. I went with Insidious. Insidious is one of my favorite horror movies.
Hmm.
I love it. I love 1, 2. I didn't see 3, but I liked 1 and 2. I think that was actually one of the more creative horror movies that we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah,
Along with
that's
the one that I have on my list.
yeah. Insidious was written by what's his name? Robert Cargill, and Scott Derrickson, I think.
Yeah.
The ones who wrote and did Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And
So
James, the director.
yeah,
Which
so I like that movie. I didn't put it on my list though. I mean, it's honorable mention, but I didn't put it on
yeah.
there.
Another honorable mention was X-Men First Class. I love X-Men First Class, and then Rise of the
Rise of the what?
Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is the first one.
Yeah, those are all good movies, man.
I love it. But yeah, this year wasn't that great. I didn't love 2011. Not the greatest. So go
No,
ahead.
those are good movies for me. They're very enjoyable movies. They're entertaining movies.
Yep.
My movie, I only had two movies for that year, man. My best movie, the first movie that to me represents 2011 was Moneyball. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Moneyball guy to begin with. I like stats and statistics and stuff. I had already read that book and I already knew about Billy Bean. So when I heard it was coming out and Brad Pitt was going to be in it, kind of wanted to see what it was about. And I mean, it's a good movie, man. It's a good movie. It has
Yeah.
a lot of cool stuff, especially if you know kind of that year what happened in baseball and stuff like that, man. It's just I don't know, just a pretty cool movie to me.
Yeah.
One of the other ones, which is a weird movie, not weird, but weird for me to say, like, because it was also like a bougie movie, not bougie, but just like film, like people
It's
that,
snobby.
yeah, like The Help. You remember The Help?
Yeah. 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 It's a good
So
movie.
it's a good movie. You know what I'm saying? It's a good movie. I can't knock it. I have to put it up there. I was like, man, this is a good movie. It's a good movie. So I put it up there. But my 2011 comes down to Moneyball.
All right, Moneyball. That's one that I also haven't seen, but because I just recently started to appreciate Brad Pitt for who he is. Like I think
Really,
I kind of just avoided Brad Pitt. I was like, Brad Pitt, who cares? I just
really.
recently started to appreciate Brad Pitt, and I really did. So, I
Oh
will
man,
eventually with Moneyball for sure. All right, you want to go ahead with your 2012, which is a jam packed.
2012 was jam packed. So I will say I didn't put Django up here for my Quentin Tarantino thing, but I'm gonna put. I couldn't say Argo to me was the best movie that year.
Mm,
Argo's a really good movie. When I found out Ben Affleck was doing this, and Ben Affleck is kind of hit or miss to me, but I think this started like a little trend for him of really good movies.
mhm.
So I put Argo on there. Some of my significant or honorable mentions are obviously Django. Uh, I like Lincoln. I don't know if you have you seen Lincoln.
I Lincoln's fine.
Yeah, but I like it's higher for me because I like politics, and so kind of seeing the inner workings of how he was dealing with that stuff, I liked it. Dark Knight Rises here. I mean Bane,
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
and Skyfall. Skyfall.
Skyfall was my honorable mention. Did not pick Skyfall, but it was really hard for me not to pick Skyfall.
Skyfall was good, man. I don't know, man. I was really surprised by that movie. It was a lot better than I expected.
And all right, so I have two more honorable mentions that I'm gonna go to before I give my actual one. And Angel, if my list has made you shake your head so far, I think you're gonna shake your head after this one because um, so my honorable mention, my other two honorable mentions are Chronicle. I
Oh,
absolutely
that was a
love
good one.
Chronicle.
That was a
I
good one.
love Chronicle to pieces, and then Cabin in the Woods.
That
Uh,
was actually a good one too, even though it was really weird.
oh, that movie is amazing. I will rewatch that movie any day.
Mhm.
But yes, you ready to shake your head, Angel? My to me, maybe not the best movie in terms of filmmaking, but one that I think that I like a lot, and I think might be actually kind of important is Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh
I love
man,
that movie to
I
pieces.
haven't. I actually haven't seen that movie, man. I've heard about it.
Yeah, Ezra Miller is in like so good. Logan Lerman's insane in that movie. It breaks your heart at one point where it'll rip your heart out at one point in the movie. It doesn't on a good note. It's not completely bleak. Like one of my movies that's on here is kind of bleak, but this one's not bleak. It has its happy ending, but that's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out, man. I
I'll
I
put
can't
it.
say anything else about it. It's just such a
I'll
good
put it on my watch list.
yeah, Skyfall, but I think Skyfall was the closest one to topping Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I think it's just because I wanted to talk because I think everyone talks about Skyfall when it comes to like this year in movies, 2012. I think a lot of people will talk about because Skyfall to me is the best James Bond movie. Uh, and
Hmm.
I haven't seen all the Sean Connery ones, so I can't like be I can't really say for completely if it's the best of all those Bond movies. 'Cause I haven't seen them all, but I think
Oh, well,
Skyfall is the best of the ones that I have seen.
I was gonna say, like, what would you consider best? Because I grew up on Die Another Day and Golden
I
Eye and
think
stuff like that. So
I
I
think when I
wouldn't say
think
they're great, but they're
yeah,
James Bond movies. They're James Bond movies. I don't know. I don't know.
and I think when I think best, it's in terms of filmmaking. Like Sam Mendes on that movie. That
Yeah, it
movie,
was
it
was
looks
legit.
beautiful. It
Yeah,
looks
so
beautiful. The script is great. Javier Bardem's performance in that movie is amazing.
Yeah, I just didn't like the one part with the
Face,
CGI. Yeah, man,
yeah,
that's
I get it. I get it. I get it. All right, so let's go ahead and go to where we at? 2013.
2013. Yeah.
Oh, and also, if you ever put Dark Knight Rises anywhere near a top list, I will.
Well, you're saying favorite movies, man. There's so
I,
many quotes coming out of that movie,
I
man.
hate them.
Like you were what is it? You merely adopted.
That's a great line. You
I mean,
merely.
come on, man.
I was born
I
in it.
was born in it.
I didn't. I didn't until I was. Uh, was it nearly a man? Something like that. I
And then
get it. I get
when he
it.
puts his hand on his face and he says, "Do you feel powerful right now?" Or "Do you
I
feel powerful?"
I don't understand what he's doing there though.
What do you mean? He's showing them you don't have power. I'm the one with the
He
power.
literally went like he was like he looked like he was like frozen because like he was doing because he's like, what are you doing to me? Like I don't. It looked like he was like doing some kind of like weird.
Alec, if a
Magic.
guy comes up to you and puts his hand on your cheek and you can't do anything and he has a mask on, I mean that guy has the power, man.
Whatever, I don't care. Angel said, where did we go? Where did we go wrong with me? A lot's wrong with me. I don't know. All right, over to 2013, which is another good year in
So
movies.
you
I
start
think
off.
we're gonna hit a decent number of good movies, and I only picked this one because I just want to talk about it. But my real best movie of that year is Wolf of Wall Street. I understand this. I love Wolf of Wall Street. I think it is the best movie that year. But I put on my list just because I want to talk about it. Snowpiercer.
Oh man. So Snowpiercer is legit. I was gonna put it on here.
Oh, okay.
I should have put it on here. It definitely goes into my honorable mentions. I
Yeah.
love Snowpiercer, dude. Snowpiercer is legit. It's like that hidden gem. It's different. It's cool. Like there's so many things that like, oh crap, and then like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
just and it's funny because I just showed it to my son because my son's a big movie buff, dude, and he's
Mhm.
10 years old. He's a big movie buff, and it's rated R, but I was like, I'll show it to you, and if you get freaked out on some stuff, let me know.
Yeah.
But
It's only
huh?
making me want to watch Parasite even more.
Yeah, dude, Parasite. You haven't seen Parasite?
I haven't seen Parasite yet, but
Oh,
because of
dude,
that director, I'm going to see Parasite. Like just because
Parasite.
of that director, I love that director.
Yeah. That's. I mean, Parasite is legit, dude. It's one of my favorite movies this year. But yeah, dude, so that one's up there. Which one else did you say? You said Wolf of Wall Street. So
Wolf of Wall
Wolf of
Street.
Wall Street is really good. There's a lot of memes on that. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
Oh, it's the arrival of Margot Robbie.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Arrival of
It's
Margot Robbie. That Quaalude scene alone,
where
uh,
he's not fucking,
where he thinks he's doing he thinks he's doing everything normal,
and he's
and
not.
he's just like not. You go outside, like they go outside, and his car is trash. Fantastic
Mhm.
scene. Jonah Hill. I think he won the Oscar for that one, right?
Yeah, he did for best
Wait,
supporting.
no, I
No,
don't
was it
get it. No, because Jared Leto won that year.
for what?
For
For Dallas Buyers Club. That is
yeah.
that which is on my honorable mention.
Okay. But yeah, so I think Jonah Hill probably should have won. That was the one that even though Matthew McConaughey is great in Dallas Buyers Club, damn, like the fact that Leo got his award for The Revenant and not for this is like a crime. I wish they could have given it to both because I can't say Matthew McConaughey doesn't deserve the Oscar, but at the same
Yeah,
time, I
yeah.
think Leo deserved the Oscar as well.
Yeah, that's a hard one, man.
That was a
That's
tough.
why yeah, that's a tough year, dude. That's like again, that's like when you say like you played in the same as the GOAT in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard because that's
Everyone,
what you're doing. Everyone's such a high level, but you
all
just
the
got beat out.
all the lightweights in the 155 division,
Yeah. The
everyone in
light
Nunes division.
the light heavyweight with John
Yeah,
Jones, like,
it
I
just
was doing a decade thing for the UFC. John Jones won his title in 2011, dude.
that's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? So it's about to be 9 years, 10 years of him just being at the top.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, and
so,
then just one real quick one that I wanted to put. I haven't seen it in a long time, but when I watched it, I loved it. Inside Llewyn Davis, Coen
mm,
Brothers, Oscar Isaac. He's the folk singer. It's some movie. Nothing big's happening. It's just simple. A guy just down on his luck and going through life, and
yeah,
simple in the way that we all love the Coen Brothers. Very
yeah,
simple.
an observation of a life or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
it's one of those
I
ones
got you.
I can go back and watch, and the music's really good.
So I like that one too, but I wouldn't put it up there for me. And I like the Coen Brothers. The Coen Brothers have made some of my favorite movies. Um, for me, my two my two honorable mentions were Dallas Buyers Club
Hmm.
and 12 Years a Slave.
Oh,
And
yes.
dude, 12 Years a Slave, dude, was so difficult, man, like to watch. Like, and I think that's why I like movies too, man. Like movies that don't just like I think you go on the horror side, you know what I'm saying? Because they're like it does something to you, like and this
Yeah.
to me does something to me on watching, how difficult and when they're really accurate and when they're really like tough, man. It's just I don't know, it does something to me. So
Yeah.
those are my two honorable mentions, but I have to go with Gravity, dude, for mine.
Ooh,
For
yeah, good one.
so
That's a good
gra
one.
so Gravity won the Oscar that year, I believe. He's a Mexican director,
Alfonso
uh,
Cuarón.
Alfonso Cuarón, and that to me is a big deal. But not just that, man. That movie, dude, the way it's shot, the visuals, Clooney, Bullock, it's just I don't know. It's just such a good movie. I like space movies too. It's just such a good movie, man. So that to me is
Yeah.
my number one for that year.
The sound design, just the fact that there is no
There's
sound,
nothing. There's
really,
nothing.
but
You
like
know.
to do that, to have that restraint though, to be able to make that decision, like there's not going to be any noise. All this stuff's getting destroyed, no sound, no nothing. Watching that in the
Mhm.
theater and you just have the music is so good. Like me and my girl saw that in the theater, and I think that's probably one of my favorite like theater experiences besides
Dude,
Endgame, which we'll talk about later. Um,
eh,
but
and when
that 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 was just a fun time in the theater. And
what
Sandra Bullock, no one talks about her acting in that movie. That's great
yeah,
acting.
man, yeah, when she hallucinates, dude, and then
Yeah.
when she finally lands, you know what I'm
Yes, that's
saying?
the
And,
one.
and,
That's the
and it's
one.
just like you're like, oh, like
Hmm.
I don't know, man. It's such a good movie.
But yeah, I didn't put 12 Years a Slave because as a white man, I can't watch that movie ever again. That movie's hard to watch, man. And cheers to Michael Fassbender for that role. Jesus Christ, man. Like, I don't ever want to hate Michael Fassbender ever again, but I hated him in that movie.
Yeah, dude,
Lupita Nyong'o.
yeah, dude, but that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know, man. Like you start thinking, is that in there, Michael Fassbender? Is that in there? You know what I mean? Like in his
Yeah,
but I know it's not, but it's just they're good actors.
that's what it
Uh,
makes you think. Like, dude, you have to have something evil inside
yeah,
of
yeah, and then it makes me think like, would I be able to do that? Like if somebody said, "Hey, I'm gonna give you millions of dollars to do this role," and you're like,
you.
"What the hell? I don't know. I can't do it." You know, that's why I'm not an actor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's
All right.
crazy.
All right, go ahead with your 2014, which is, or yeah, 2014. Good year. Another good year.
Okay, 2014 was a very good year. Here are my honorable mentions: Birdman, uh,
Love that movie.
Theory of Everything.
I haven't seen it.
It's a good movie. It's a good. I like it because
Mm,
it's Stephen Hawking, and kind
yeah.
of before and when he got diagnosed and stuff, and it's just crazy, man. Like when you look at that point in his life, he was already like starting to show what he was capable of,
Yeah.
and so like his prospects were like way up here, and then he gets that shocking news,
Hmm.
and it kind of like everybody around him,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, oh man, but then look where he got, you know what I'm saying? Like he's like it didn't do anything to
Yeah.
him.
They, no, she didn't, he didn't win the Oscar. No, did he win the Oscar for that?
I don't think he did because
Or was that Michael
because
Keaton's year?
yeah, because I think that was Mike King's year,
You're right.
and then there was another honorable mention was Whiplash. Whiplash was kind of crazy and just I don't know the I don't know, that was just such a good movie too, Whiplash.
Yeah.
But my 2014 movie that I can remember when I was watching, I went to go watch it with my wife for her birthday, was Interstellar.
Oh, okay. All right. I like it. Yes.
So Interstellar, man, just the way it was, the way it was shot, also in space. The story was kind of weird and cool at the same time, like different, and then being a parent, and seeing that and what he had to go through, and then how he ends up in the end with
Hmm.
with somebody way older than him, that's his daughter. I don't know, man. It was just crazy. It's a crazy story, and I really liked it, man.
Shut up, Angel. Sorry. Uh, just had to throw that out there. You haven't
You know.
even heard my 2014 movie, so you just stop. All right, so we'll go ahead with some of my what's it called honorable mentions. One of one's on there, just because it's an incredible achievement in terms of filmmaking. Boyhood. Um,
Yeah.
That's not mine. That's just an honorable mention.
Okay.
Just for the what he does with that movie, with the taking place literally over 10 years of these people's lives.
Yeah.
Patricia Arquette, I think she won the Oscar for this one.
Yeah, she did.
Deserved it. Absolutely deserved it. So that one's up there. 1 second, I'm going down. There was another one. Damn it, where is it? Oh, how do we not say Winter Soldier, Captain America, Winter Soldier?
I mean,
I know, but that to me, like I think that's my number 2 movie.
Marvel movie.
Yeah. And then hold on, I think I had another one. Locke. Have you seen Locke?
Locke.
Tom Hardy, literally just him in a car talking on the phone. It's the entire movie.
Hold on, you told me about this one last time. Man,
Okay, dude, that's a good movie. Like that's something that like if you just sit there, it's just literally one guy in the car having these phone conversations, driving somewhere, and it's just the whole story unfolding. It's nothing crazy, nothing dire. It's just one guy going through some shit, and like I like those like very centralized stories, as you can see with me mentioning Inside Llewyn Davis, of just something simple and being able to create something so like you're intrigued.
Interesting.
You can't take your eyes off of it, and it's something so small as a guy talking on his phone in the car. But my one for that year, my favorite, I think it got gypped at the Oscars, especially the actor, Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie too, man.
That was a good movie. The fact that Jake Gyllenhaal did not get not even a nomination.
He didn't get anything on that one, man.
Man. Especially when you look at what movie he did right after that. So you see he's like a skinny, scrawny guy, looks like a really creep weirdo type thing. And then right after that, he buffed up for what's it called? The boxing movie. Why can't I remember the damn name of the movie?
Fighter, not the Fighter.
No, Southpaw. Yeah, Southpaw. Like the transformation he had to go through just to get to that, and he's great in both of them. But I mean, Nightcrawler is the one where I look back. I think that's my favorite of his performances is Nightcrawler, because he's so devoid of life in his eyes. The way he does that.
He has a good arc, dude. Like it starts with this, it starts with that, like him, and then him kind of devolving and deranged. You know what I'm saying?
You're seeing the evolution of someone, and literally, I mean, not the evolution, the de-evolution of somebody, of just
That's
starting.
what I was gonna say about Phone Booth. They just said it sounds like Phone Booth, that Locke movie.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's different though. This one's not. It's not as like dire, because in Phone Booth, it's like a criminal that makes something like that. Like it's not like that. It's literally just dealing with real world problems. Like I think in the movie, I don't want to reveal it if you're gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, don't reveal it.
Avoid
like, spoilers 5 years later.
It's crazy. It's just something simple. But yeah, Nightcrawler, like seeing how this guy just slowly devolves into what he becomes at the very end. And all in just really the fact that he's what is it, like he's ambitious. It's literally just because he's trying to be somebody.
He's trying to win.
He's
trying to win.
It's all ambition and the lengths he's willing to go to get the best, whatever it is. It literally, no matter what he's doing, he'd do it.
You picked this guy right here. Look,
and then one of my favorite superheroes. That's what I would have. That would be my superpower if I had it. If I could pick a superpower, I would have Nightcrawlers. I'd even be blue. I don't care. He looks awesome. He looks awesome. I'm not gonna get mad at him. All right. So it's my turn with 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Another great year. And let me pull up my list before I go to before I say which one I picked, because I want to give some honorable mentions real quick. So this is another big year. One of them up there for me, Kingsman.
Oh yeah,
Kingsman. Like that movie hit me out of nowhere, because I was not expecting what we got. Like I had no idea what it was.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I had no idea what it was. It was just something that I was gonna be like, oh, let's see what this is. And man, like I was so impressed. I couldn't get to the list I had earlier. Inside Out being one of my favorite Pixar movies of all time. Probably my favorite of all time. The Martian. It's hard not to say The Martian, but I'm going with Mad Max Fury Road.
Man, that's a good movie. It's in my honorable mention.
That's my favorite of the decade. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know, man. It's just like it took so long for it to come out. Like, you know what I mean? And then we're supposed to be getting another one, and I don't know. But I liked it. It was really cool. It had a lot of great visuals too.
The visuals
Uh,
are amazing in that movie.
yeah. So I mean, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't. It's not mine, but I can see where you would pick that one. That was a legit movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said,
That's in my. It's in my honorable mention too.
yeah, definitely. That's to me like one of my. That's actually probably one of my favorite of the decade is Mad Max Fury Road. I can rewatch that movie over and over again. Tom Hardy is not doing anything basically, and it's perfect for it. And then that to me that's the coming out party for Charlize Theron in this decade because I think she's probably actress of the decade these past 10 years. She's been insane. Like she has what not Cake. It was the other one. Damn it. I forgot what she did. Was it Young Adult? She did Young Adult. She has that new one coming out that I really want to see, which is about was it not Megan Kelly? Is it Megan Kelly? Might be Megan Kelly.
Oh yeah. It is that one.
Kelly one. Yeah. I can't. I really want to see that one because I heard she's amazing in it. And then what else is she in?
She just did Long Shot with Seth Rogen.
Long Shot. She's had a lot of good hits this year. I mean, these years. So I think this is the coming out.
They should do Atomic Blonde. Was it Atomic Blonde? That's what you said.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
That's a good movie. That's just a good action movie. Like it's nothing special. It's just good.
All action all the time.
Yeah. And then I didn't want to say this one because I'm pretty sure it's your pick.
Which one?
Go for
it. My pick?
Yeah, go with your pick.
Oh, I'm not gonna put it on there. You talking about Hateful Eight?
Oh yeah. That's on your list.
Oh, it's on my again. I stayed away from the Tarantinos, but it's on my honorable mentions. So my honorable mentions are The Revenant. I really like The Revenant. It has a father-son kind of deal with it, and it's also it was a Mexican director too, right? Yeah, it was a Mexican director.
Yeah, Alejandro Iñárritu. He did
Iñárritu, yeah.
He did Birdman.
Yeah, so that one was good too. Room, have you seen Room?
I love Room.
Dude, Room was just devastating, man. Room was devastating.
Yeah.
Inside Out, obviously, we talked about Inside Out. Inside Out is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, movie, animated movie. Yeah. The Hateful Eight is up there for me. I really like the Hateful Eight. I actually got to see the Hateful Eight in 75 millimeter or 70 millimeter, the way it was shot. And also with the intermission. At the intermission, I went to the Edwards Theater. I got this really cool tin set and this really cool poster that goes along with it. So I thought that was pretty cool. But my movie for 2015 is because I read the book beforehand. Is The Martian. I really like The Martian. I think that movie, how they did it, how they brought it to life from the book. I thought it was gonna be difficult because in the book it's just a lot of him talking, man, and in the movie it's a lot of him being in the like this, like we're talking right now to a journal. Yeah. But they were able to intersperse everybody else with it just enough so that it doesn't get boring. You looking at him or looking at him, do whatever he's doing. So I really like The Martian. I like space movies, you can tell.
Definitely. I love The Martian.
So that was mine for 2015.
See, Hateful Eight. I was gonna pick Hateful Eight, but then I went with Mad Max because I love Mad Max. But Hateful Eight is probably, if not my second, then it's my third favorite.
Dude, it just has so many funny parts too, man. Like whenever he says he's a sheriff, and also whenever they're eating. And he finally realizes that he's lying about the Abraham Lincoln letter. Like that's funny. I don't know.
How funny is whenever Sam Jackson knocks Jennifer Jason Leigh out the truck for spitting on
it.
Knocking her out the car, sending Kurt Russell with her.
Yeah,
it's hilarious, man. And then Channing Tatum in the movie, man. Like I was surprised at that. I wasn't expecting that, and he was.
Well, they didn't promote him. They didn't It was supposed to be a surprise. So I mean, I like that. Like I like that Tarantino does those kind of little he films it how he wants to film it. Intermission, and then he like hides certain things of the movie that would not necessarily give it away, but like would it have mattered if they said he was going to be in the movie? No, but it's a pleasant surprise when you watch the movie.
Man, is that Channing Tatum?
Yeah,
it is, and it's just a fun. And then he's not even like a gigantic part of the movie. Like it's a real tiny part that happens, and then it's just over, and then boom. Also, it's where I really started to appreciate Walton Goggins.
Yes, I agree. That movie made me look at him and like, man, this dude's a good actor.
He's a
and other movies that he's come out in since then, or movies or shows, because he come out some shows too. I've
Mhm.
been like, oh man, I'm interested in watching him. You know,
Definitely. What was the other one I was gonna say real quick?
The
Oh no, I was
Revenant.
gonna ask you, what's your Quentin Tarantino movie? Like your number one?
Probably Inglorious Bastards.
Boom, yes. I knew I liked you for a reason.
Yeah, Inglorious Bastards, and then honestly, man, this last one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I've seen it like 3 times,
Damn, dude, that's
and
9 hours.
huh?
That's
What?
9 hours.
Yeah, but I don't watch it all like sitting down. Like I've watched The Irishman like 3 times, you know, and it's not all sitting down. Like I watch an hour of it, or and the thing I like doing that is because I get to like focus in on certain parts of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's weird because like I guess in my early 20s, mid 20s, it was Kill Bill, dude. Like Kill Bill 1 and 2 was like numero uno, you know, like that was my favorite. Like I couldn't get past those. And then I started going back towards dang, you there, man? Dang.
Sorry, I got kicked from the stream.
Oh,
Sorry.
my bad. So what I was saying, I don't know if you heard of that. In my early 20s, mid 20s was Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then I started appreciating like Reservoir Dogs more again and Pulp Fiction. And then Inglourious Basterds came out, and I was like, man, it's just the storytelling, the script, the way it was filmed, just all that stuff is just awesome. So that, and then I feel like he did it again in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Hmm.
So I don't know. And then I like Django too. I like his take on a spaghetti western, and I like The Hateful Eight a lot too, man. Those westerns, he does westerns really good, you know.
Yeah, he
I don't
does.
know.
All right, let's go ahead and go to 2016.
So I go first, or you go first? I go first, right?
Your turn. Yeah.
All right. So my two honorable mentions. They could have easily been number one, and honestly, I mean, one of them it just eked out. So Manchester by the Sea, was really good. Have you seen that movie?
No, I heard it was super depressing.
It is, man. It's. Remember, I told you I like those movies that like make you feel a certain way, and
Yeah.
that was one of those movies, man. So I definitely recommend it. And then Arrival. Arrival was gonna be my number one because
Love.
Arrival, my favorite. Remember, I told you my favorite short story. My favorite short story and writer is Ted Chiang, and it's basically based off that short story. And that short story, dude, is just it's like perfect, dude. It's only about 10,000 words. There's not a excessive word there. Like it's just perfect. And that movie kind of captures it in the weirdness of it and the coolness of it and the different of actually like he said, what how would it be to communicate with another you know alien species? Like what would we do? How would we do it?
Hmm.
And like the way they communicate is so different. They communicate all at one time. They already know that's why it's a circle, you know, like they already know what there's I don't know, it's just very interesting.
Yeah, I like Arrival a lot.
But my number one movie for 2016 was Moonlight.
Mm.
That was
Yeah.
my number one movie. Moonlight, the way it was shot, the way it was told, the three different, stages in that man's life,
Hmm.
and the different, characters surrounding him and influencing him and pulling him and pushing him. Um, it was just really interesting, man. I really liked that movie.
Yeah.
That was a really good movie.
I liked Moonlight a lot. I didn't like the third act.
The last one?
Yeah, I didn't like the third one. I liked it. It was fine. I guess I just wanted a little more. Like I think my favorite one is the second one.
Mm.
Him as a teenager is it's powerful, man. Like it really is. To see like what a kid like that growing up in his environment has to go through in order to basically
Survive.
kind of have to go over, survive, and it's not really like socially acceptable in his environment to be gay, and have to go
In his
around that.
neck of the woods.
Yeah, so it's crazy. And then Marshall Ali, man, like so good. I love
That was that
Marshall
was
Ali.
that was kind of his coming out party to the world, even though he was already on House of Cards and he did a great job on House
Yeah,
of
he's
Cards
so good on House of Cards.
as Remy. But yeah, man, that was a good movie, man.
All right, so
What are yours?
so like I said, Moonlight. Moonlight is fantastic. I love The Witch. The Witch is one of my favorite horror movies probably my favorite horror movie of that year.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
It's so good, man. If you're not expecting like jump scares, like the thing is, like I showed some friends and or some even my sister who's a horror fan, and she is kind of like but it's like one of those movies that just it has you thinking, man. You don't know what in the world where this movie's going, where it ends up is really cool. So yeah, The Witch.
It's on Netflix, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I'll put that on there.
And then Deadpool is up there too. I love Deadpool. I think they did it perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's one of those movies I will always go back and rewatch. But my movie is Hell or High Water.
Oh man, I forgot about that one, man. Yes, that's one of my favorite movies.
I love Hell or High Water. I didn't know what this movie was when I first saw it. I was like, what? Okay. Like I mean, whenever I heard about it, people were always talking about it. And I was just like, okay, like I guess. The way they're talking about it was like, sounds like insane. Like, and then I was watching it and I was like, I don't know, is this the same movie that they were talking about? And the way it goes, man, it's so good.
So he deconstructs a Western so good, dude, because the standoff is at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
When he goes and he says, I'm the one that shot your brother. That's like, he's like, you know, coming up to him like, are we going to do this right now? And he has his gun. He had his gun, and, you know, and maybe we'll see each other again. He knows he did it. He knows it's him. He knows he's the brains.
Yeah.
But he can't do anything about it, you know? And I like what he says at the end. He says the things we do for family, you know? And so I love that movie, dude. I love that movie. I love the writer. The writer who wrote that also wrote Wind River. Wind River is a great movie as well. And he also wrote a different one. There's a third one he's done. He's done 3 great movies so far.
Yeah.
And the guy, I think his last name is Sheridan, the guy who wrote it, and he's from Texas. So, yeah, that movie is probably would be my number one, dude. Honestly, I completely forgot about it. That movie. So I worked at a bank too for 14 years, and that movie got a lot of the things right from a bank perspective. It also got a bunch of things wrong, but whatever, it's a movie.
Yeah, and the way, like, even the way that they were gonna like they were kind of like laundering the money was kind of cool. Of them going out of town, out of state, to the casino in Oklahoma,
buying the chips.
Yeah, buying the chips, but just sitting on them for a little bit. Well, he sat on them. The other guy was gambling. And at the end of the night, going and cashing them all in, and he just, because it just looks like he had a pretty good night at the casino.
Yeah, but the whole story is good. Like they're about to foreclose on their parents. The farm, because 1, they're late, and 2, they found oil on it. But then 2, how the lawyer tells them, make them the trustee, and that way they can't say that it's you that did it, because you're still giving them money through the trustee, because you have to pay a trustee.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that they did on there that was really cool and really different. Like, I was thinking about that like the little characters that they have, like the waitress at the restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, that was awesome. That's a very memorable character.
That was.
I don't know, man. It was just good. Like, I mean, the brother's a memorable character. Fucking crazy. Can't.
Ben Foster, man.
He wasn't gonna go back to jail. You know what I mean?
I love Ben Foster's always so good in those roles where he has to play like a kind of out of his mind character.
A madman.
Yeah, like dude, I don't even realize that it was him for a long time. But in Hostage, you ever seen Hostage with Bruce Willis? The psychotic one, the black hair. That's Ben Foster.
I'm trying to remember that movie, man.
When he gets stabbed in the face. That came out a long time ago.
I remember it. I'm sure I've seen it.
Kid. Yeah, man. But like he's the kid. He's the freaking criminal in that movie, and it's like, dude, like. But then he can play real clean cut. Like he plays Angel in freaking. It's not a good movie, but he plays Angel in Last Stand, X-Men Last Stand.
Yeah. But that was when he was a lot younger too.
Yeah. Well, he was younger, and that was around the same time that he did Hostage, if I'm not mistaken.
I gotta look that movie up. I'm sure I've seen it. I just don't remember it. But Bruce Willis was a crooked guy too, wasn't he?
He was a cop, but like he's a hostage negotiator that quit after he lost. He was negotiating with one of these criminals that was threatening to kill his wife and his kid, and I guess he did something wrong, and the guy ended up killing all 3 of them. So he killed his wife, he killed his son, and he shot himself.
does it take place in like a house like kind of on a hill
Yeah,
and
yeah,
has to
yeah,
do
and like a
something with the
rich house.
cartel and has to do with the cartel's money
Yeah,
or
like it gets kind
something?
of deep. It's not a great movie. It's one of those like ones
Yeah,
where you just kind of go back and watch. But like
yeah,
Ben Foster's weird in that movie. Like the fact I just say
yeah. He's the bad guy that ends up killing them, and the other bad guy doesn't want to kill him, right? Like he's like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
remember.
yeah. That's not like it's not a great movie. I'm not like bringing it up as one of my favorite movies of all time. But that's just like the role that I think of with Ben Foster was like where he can go in terms of
Yeah, the range
yeah.
he has, the range. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So we'll go to 2017 because we're already coming up on the end of this show. But 2017, another good year, especially for horror. You have
Yeah.
it. It's probably one of my favorite horror movies. I love the first It. Second chapter is fine. Um, Split. I love Split as well. And then there was one more I was going to put on my honorable mentions. Happy Death Day is fantastic. But what was the other one? Baby Driver. I love Baby Driver. But the one that I went with is Get Out.
Yeah, we're unanimous on this one then.
Yeah, Get Out. All right, yeah, that to me that
Yeah.
was the best film of the year.
Yeah, so you had Split, I had Split, and you had Baby Driver, I had Baby Driver.
Yeah,
You didn't have Shape of Water.
I don't love Shape of Water. It's
I
fine.
like Shape of Water, dude. I just think it's different. And then you didn't have Coco. And
Oh, dang it! Why did I
and
miss Coco?
and Coco was I don't know, man. Between Get Out and Coco, it was tough for me to pick one. I picked Get Out because I feel like I used to love horror, dude. I used to love horror. Then I got
Hmm.
out of it, and Get Out was the one that brought me back into it. It's not even like full on horror, but it's
No,
just really, really good. And
it's it's what do they call it? Like social horror.
yeah,
They
that's the
call it.
thing. Like it has to do with a social aspect. It's something hasn't really been seen before, and Jordan Peele like came out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but for horror. Like I always knew he loved horror. I always knew he liked the Twilight Zone, but he was a funny guy. He's a funny
Yeah,
guy, you
yeah.
know. And for him to do Get Out and just the reaction I had with it, I was like, man, this is fucking awesome. You know, it's fucking
Mm,
awesome. That's when I want to go see it. I was like, man, this is fucking awesome. That's all I could think
yeah.
of.
The
And
only,
and
go ahead.
Coco for me
Mm,
has a lot of resonates a lot with the culture, with
hmm.
my culture, with my family, how I grew up, how you know I see some aspects of my family, my childhood growing up in it, and how my grandma was and my mom is or was, and certain things that we were allowed, weren't allowed to do, and how we were, and to be able to see that represented on screen in a cartoon it was just awesome, man. It was awesome. I showed my kids that movie, they loved it, so
Hmm.
that's why it was kind of tough for me. But I picked Get Out.
Yeah. To me, like that's why, man. I like Us. I don't love Us. Uh,
But
but
you could see what he was trying to do, though.
yes, and that's the thing is because you're also looking at it from the perspective of like, all right, Get Out was amazing. What else can this guy do? And then you saw what he was going for, and it just didn't land in some
You,
points.
but
Uh,
that's the thing, dude. Like I get frustrated because Get Out, he said literally took him like I don't know 6 years to write, dude, or something crazy
and it
like
went
that.
so fast with Us.
That's what I'm saying because he's the hot guy.
Hmm.
Here's the money. They're throwing money at him. Just give us your next stuff. He didn't have time for like the gestation period to like, take stuff out, put stuff in, So I call it a sophomore slump. I call it a getting
Yeah,
caught in the game,
I can't wait for
because
the third one. I can't wait
yeah,
for
I want
his third movie.
exactly,
It's just when you knock it
exactly.
out of the park with the first one.
It's
That's
hard. It's hard
tough.
to live
Yeah,
up to
it's
it, man.
tough, dude. It's like having a fantastic rookie season, like it's some sophomore slump. Fantastic rookie season. How do you top that? You can't. It's just it's almost impossible.
For
But
sure.
Get Out is amazing, and I love Get Out so much. Well, I
A-
think there was
A-
one
A-
more.
Angel didn't like Coco.
It's fine. Yeah, I know. I figured he wouldn't. He's not. He's not the sensitive type. Dude, I cried like. Do you know how much? And he's gonna make fun of me for this. Uh, like I sobbed for a good like 5 minutes after that movie was over. Like that movie hit hard. Coco.
Yeah,
It,
man.
it, it hit
Coco
hard,
is
man.
legit, man. It's legit.
All right, we're on to 2018. Looking over here, Infinity War is a honorable mention for me. I love Infinity War. Probably, I think that's top. Endgame and Infinity War. It's like top 5 of MCU.
Hmm.
Let me see. A Quiet Place, amazing. I love A Quiet
That
Place.
was a good movie. That was a good movie.
And I'm looking again. I like Incredibles 2 a lot,
That's all right.
but I went with Hereditary.
You went horror.
I went horror. Hereditary is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Of all time,
Like
dude?
after watching it, I
That's
love.
bold.
And that's fine. People can disagree with me all they want. Like what that movie did, and it still does to me, is insane. Like yeah, it does, man. It makes me feel exactly like that. It makes me feel.
Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
But then when you watch it that first time, and I watched it knowing nothing, and when people ask me like about that movie, I tell them absolutely nothing. I'm like, watch it the exact same way I watched it. Don't watch any trailers. Don't watch anything. Just watch this movie, get into it, and let me know what you think. And then when you're rewatching it on that second time, you're just looking. You're literally looking at every little thing, and you catch little things. Like you see a point where she's like I guess painting something, or she's like doing something on her table, and she knocks over the blue paint. And when you're first watching it, you think she knocked it over, but when you rewatch the movie, she didn't touch it. Like the paint flips over on its own, and you're just like, dude, this was concocted from the beginning. Like these people had no chance at all. And I think like that to do that in the writing and the execution, to where even when I watch it over and over again, I still feel the same way about it. Like to me, that's gonna be at my top of all time. It really is.
Did you see Midsummer then?
Not yet. I'm gonna. I can't wait. Just because it's Ari Aster, I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, that's why. Like when you get a writer director like that, man, you gotta see
I'm gonna
what his
follow
stuff
him.
more.
Yeah.
I mean, Midsummer is good. It's not Hereditary, but it's still good. It's still good and different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's how I feel about Fede Alvarez. Do you know Fede Alvarez? So he did the remake of Evil Dead, and I love that remake of Evil Dead. That's a great remake. One of the few. I think it's that's an underrated remake that a lot of people don't talk about, is the Evil Dead remake. And he did amazing with it. And then he followed it up with Don't Breathe. And I love Don't Breathe. Like
Don't Breathe was really good. It's a different take on the be quiet and don't say nothing kind of deal. You know, like
and then to find out he's possibly doing that he's going to be involved, I believe, in the next it's either Texas Chainsaw or Friday the 13th. I think it's Texas Chainsaw though. And if he's
either one of those is pretty cool for him to be doing, dude.
If he's doing Texas Chainsaw, I'm in. Like I'm 100% in. I don't. I guess I'm fine if he does, as long as he's not doing what was rumored about Friday the 13th, where they were going to do like a prequel where it was going to be about his dad or whatever. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, and why he became that way or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't care about that either.
But like anything in that world of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, hell yeah.
I want to see Darth Vader in his full power.
Yes, for sure. Like, and give him free reign to do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
that's the property to do it with. All right, so go ahead with you.
For 2018, man, I didn't hear you say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You haven't seen it?
I still haven't seen it, man. And it's on Netflix waiting for me to watch, and I haven't watched it.
That's my number one. That's my number one for 2018. And my honorable mention was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
And Roma. And Roma,
I still haven't seen Roma.
Roma is only because, again, it's a Mexican director, and because it has the period piece in Mexico for a certain time, and a lot of that stuff that like, I mean, the fucking building where they live in initially, I mean, you'll see it. That looks like what we would go to in Mexico when we went to Mexico. Like that. I mean, just the courtyard, just how it was, how the fucking place to park your car was, the mosaico, which is the tile or whatever. It was just crazy to me. Like I was like, oh man, this is legit right here, you know?
Yeah, my girl said the exact same thing when she watched it. Like it was like being there.
Yeah, and it's like exactly, and for a director and a writer to be able to capture that, and the story that he tells about an indigenous woman and kind of I don't know, it was just a really good movie, man. But it's my honorable mention.
That was Quran too, right?
Yeah, that was Quran.
Yeah, and I think that was handed to him by Guillermo. I think Guillermo, him and Guillermo actually. I feel like Guillermo had something to do with it. Because Guillermo, you know, he's all about his culture as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Probably Guillermo del Toro.
I might be wrong.
Who won in 2017? Who won the Oscar 2017?
I think Roma got best film.
No, that's 2018.
Or 2017. 2017 was
because it went like Mexican, like
Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody got best film. Bohemian Rhapsody got best film. Bohemian Rhapsody almost like took because Remy Malek got actor, and I think they got best film, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but I think I'm right.
All right. So yeah, dude. So Into the Spider-Verse, man. Check it out.
I
It's a
will.
it's a great movie, man.
I want to watch it. Like, I think I want to. I don't know if like I'm subconsciously waiting for like Elijah to enjoy it, just because I want him to like enjoy it with me, like for the first time, like us both watch it. But he's still not there. He's
Roma
still not.
won in 2013 and 2018.
And then 2017. Yeah, so Roma won. I guess Bohemian Rhapsody won. Maybe it was just actor.
Let me see. Let me just make sure.
I'm looking too right now. So yeah, the Academy Awards. Let me see.
They won Best Foreign Language Film.
Did it for Best Foreign?
Yeah, because it was entirely in Spanish.
Yeah, I figured, but I knew it was. I'm pretty sure it was nominated for the for the best film, which was kind of cool. Which is why I really hope that, because if Parasite is as good as everybody's saying, which it seems like it is, I hope that they give it the nod in best film, not just in best foreign film. But the thing is, the Oscars do that sometimes. Is they kind of like, oh, we're gonna give it this, so we don't have to worry about nominating it in best film because we're gonna give it best foreign film. So like, we don't have to give it this. They do the same thing with the animated films, where instead of like just nominating them, they're the best animated film. They are saying like, oh, we're gonna give it best animated, so we won't nominate it for best film. Which kind of lame because you have 10 slots. I don't understand like why you don't just give it. Like, you have 10 slots, give it to them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, sorry. Green Book won 2018.
Yeah,
Best
that's
film.
what it was. Yeah, that was
Green Book won.
whatever. I know it wasn't even in any of our tops. Anything.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it, but the film after the one after that was Shape of Water, was the best film of the year for 2017.
Well, that's why, because that was
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro. So that was Guillermo del Toro, and then he handed it to Fonte Cuarón.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to go ahead and oh no, is it mine for 2019?
It's yours for 2019.
All right, let's see. So this is where I don't really see a lot of movies in the year, so I haven't seen a lot. But I went with the easy one for me, Avengers Endgame. It's my favorite of the year so far. Although Marriage Story was very close to being my pick. Marriage Story.
Marriage Story, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was really close to being on my pick, but I was like, man, I'm gonna give my. I'm a comic book guy at heart. I've been following this. This was a 12-year, what is it? What I'm trying to say, like I dedicated 12 years of my life to this, and it didn't disappoint. It hit in every possible way it can. When this is one of those movies where like when movies where people say they didn't like it, I'm like, I get it. This is one of the ones where someone tells me they didn't like it, I'm like, you're insane. You have problems. Something's wrong with you.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, like let's juxtapose this payoff with. Have you seen Star Wars?
Not yet.
Damn. Okay, I can't even talk about.
I mean, you could say like it's not, because I've heard it's fine. The ending.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's fine, but I feel like Endgame definitely delivered a lot more. More bang for your buck.
Yeah.
So
it's a great time in the movie theater.
So I can see that. I don't know,
like
man.
Like I said, I haven't seen a lot. So once I see more movies of this year, probably when the Oscars like come around, all the nominations come out, and I'll watch. I'm gonna try and watch all the nominations. I'll probably have a different list. Like, I'm pretty sure Joker is gonna be on my list. I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, so I have 3 right now. But I'm gonna go see Uncut Gems because I'm hearing a lot of good things about that movie.
I'm gonna watch that.
So right now it's a tie for first right now, and I'm gonna watch all of them again to solidify after I see Uncut Gems.
Mm-hmm.
It's The Irishman, it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's The Joker. Those 3 movies to me this year have stood up far and away better than most other movies, and each of them have like great performances by certain actors. Like, you look at Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know you haven't seen it, right? You haven't seen it?
No, not yet. But I think that's the next. No, sorry, The Joker's probably gonna be the next one that me and Crystal watch, because we always order a movie on PlayStation Network every week, and we were gonna do Once Upon a Time in Hollywood maybe like a few weeks ago, but instead she wanted to watch Ready or Not, which is the horror movie. The one where they're like, it's Samara Weaving. She is like she's a newlywed. She's introduced to the family, but she has to pick a game. It's something because it's something that she likes. Like, and that's a good movie. I like it. It's a good twist. But it's one of those horror movies that will come and go. It's just that was that. But she wanted to watch it. It was something that we could sit down and watch it and have fun. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was probably the next one we're gonna do. But now that the Joker is available to rent, that's probably gonna be the next one to watch.
Yeah. So Once Upon a Time Hollywood has Brad Pitt's like, I don't know, like a signature performance, man.
Is yours Brad Pitt like your favorite of the film? Because I hear people go back and forth between Brad and Leo.
I know, that's what I'm saying, man. It's they're both cast perfectly because of their age and what's going on with both of them in their careers. So I don't know. I that's what I'm saying. I had two good performances from Leo and from Brad Pitt. They're just really good performances. So I don't know. Joker, obviously, Joaquin Phoenix has a fucking phenomenal performance in that movie, man. And then The Irishman has Joe Pesci, who has a fucking badass performance, and he's getting nominated, I'm sure. But also, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. They have Robert De Niro in a badass fucking performance as well. And I mean, just there's certain parts in that movie when you're like, fuck, man. And obviously, I see too why. Like, there's a couple times when the CGI doesn't really do well. Like, it just like you can't.
It's not there yet.
Yeah, and I saw there's this really cool thing. It's like 30 minutes on a conversation with the Irishman, and it's all three of the actors and Martin Scorsese, and they're going back and forth. And Scorsese's talking about this funny ass part where uh uh they're shooting this part where they're just shooting this thing. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. They're just shooting this thing, and the guy behind the camera is telling Scorsese, he's supposed to be 42, and he's getting up like he's 69 because he's 69 or something like that, or 68.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You tell him." Like Scorsese tells the guy, "You tell him."
Yeah, right. That's the thing about the aging is you can't de-age movement.
Exactly, dude, and I think so that there were some issues with that, but from a performance standpoint, man, like that is Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro, like right there, and then Al Pacino a little bit underneath that, but that was such a good movie, dude. I'm telling you, I'm watching it again right now. I'm in, I think, the second hour of it. I've watched it 3 times.
Season?
Huh?
You're in the second season?
The second season, the second hour of it.
But that was the joke. Is
yeah, because it's so long. I got you, dude. But I've already watched it. I watched it 3 times, dude.
I'm gonna watch it. That's one that because my girl's not really into Scorsese, so it's not really on her list. And with Netflix, it's if we're at home, and it's more like if we're either gonna watch something together or I'm gonna play the video game.
Well, the thing is, my wife is not into these type of movies or Scorsese, and she watched it and she really liked it.
Yeah.
It took us like a while to watch it because we didn't watch it. I mean, we can't really sit through a bunch of movies at home, like through the whole thing. Like right now, we just watched Long Shot today, and it's an hour and like 45-minute movie, and it took us close to 3 hours to watch it because we have having to stop it, go do something, help the kids, do this, do that,
Yeah.
So that movie obviously took a lot longer. I wish I could have seen it all in one day. I wish I could have seen it in the movie theaters, but it's just they only did it in 2 cities, in LA and New York.
Yeah.
But it's just a really good movie, man. And I love those movies. I love Scorsese. I love the what do they call them? The Brat Pack or something, or whoever it is. Scorsese, Spielberg, Brian De Palma, and George Lucas. Although they have some, obviously great movies that have influenced pop culture and culture overall.
Yeah.
And this movie is kind of a throwback to that with the mob. Scorsese loves doing mob stuff, so it's an awesome movie,
his
man.
bag. He just got back in his bag. That's all. That's what he did.
Yeah, and he was able to work with the guys he wanted to work with one last time. Well, I don't know if it's the last time, but I mean they're getting up there in age, man.
Probably Pesci. I'd say Pesci. Pesci's not doing as much.
Dude, I mean, if you look at that conversation, that was a great thing too. Like I love the bonus stuff, that conversation with the Irishman. Those 3 dudes, man, and I mean even Scorsese, they all look so old, dude. I'm like, oh man.
But some I think I think you're gonna see De Niro in more like roles like he did with what was it, Dirty Grandpa, or like
Yeah,
Bad,
that was a funny movie.
like things like that. Pacino, you're gonna see the typical Pacino
Well,
stuff.
but dude, but listen though, man. I get what you're saying, but man, he put on a fucking performance in this movie, dude.
Pesci?
Both of those
Oh,
dudes at this age,
yeah. I mean,
man.
I would love to see Pesci in more things. Like that's what I think that was the drawing that was the draw was Pesci because Pesci hasn't done something in so long. And so like him basically coming out of retirement, basically come do like one more with De Niro and Pacino. That's the sell. And I'm gonna see the
Dude,
movie. I just
it's
haven't
such a
seen it yet. I'll
it's
probably
such a
start
good
watching it
movie.
tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie, probably my lunch break, I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
It's such a good movie, dude. It's such a good movie. I quoted a lot to my brother. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Man, you need to watch The Irishman." And he's like, "I've only seen like 45 minutes of it." I'm like, "Dude, just watch it, man."
So which one are you putting on your list?
For number one right now,
Yeah,
if I had to pick right now,
pick right now.
man, I gotta get rid of recency bias because
You just recently watched
I watched The Irishman. Mm, fuck, dude. I don't know, man. I feel like if I pick Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's because it's a Tarantino movie. If I pick The Irishman, it's because it's recency bias. And the Joker, the Joker to me is now that I'm thinking about it, is a close second to both of those movies. So
Mhm. So
I'm
it's between Once Upon a Time and
an
and The Irishman.
Irishman. I'm gonna say The Irishman, dude.
Okay.
I feel like I don't know because when I left Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, when I saw that movie, I felt like, man, that was such a good movie, and it had such a just it was just a great movie. You know, like I didn't expect the feeling I had when I left it, and when I saw The Irishman, I felt like feelings of nostalgia and I don't know. And I love gangster movies and mob movies a lot. You know, like Carlito's Way, Goodfellas, Casino, Godfather, all those movies. I love those movies. So
Yep.
I would say The Irishman right now, dude, is probably my number one. And the performances too. I'll just say that
All
one
right.
right now.
All right. Well, that's the end of our list. I think we had pretty different lists. We had one that was the same, which was
Get
Get
Out.
Out. That's
That should tell you
universal.
how good that movie is and the year and how it brought it all together, man.
Yeah, and I think you said you probably would have put Hell or High Water.
Yeah, I would have changed Moonlight to Hell or High Water. Hell or High Water is one of my favorite movies. I love westerns. I love new westerns. That's a new
The
western.
new westerns, yeah.
And I don't know. We didn't put Wind River, and Wind River is on there too. Wind River was 2018, I think. Have you seen Wind River?
I haven't seen Wind River yet.
Dude,
That's with
watch
that's the one with
Hawkeye.
yeah, Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, right?
Yes, watch that movie, dude.
I will.
That's written by the same guy who wrote Hell or High Water, and I think he directed it too. I'm not too sure.
All right,
That's
I'll,
it's on Netflix for sure. It's on Netflix,
all
so
right.
watch that movie, dude.
All right, so that's our list, and that's our last show of 2019. And Angel, just a real fu, real quick. Did I cry at the ending of Endgame? I'm gonna quote one of my favorite shows. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn
If you
right.
don't cry at the end of Endgame, what are you doing?
Yeah, why are you watching Endgame? It means you didn't dedicate 12 years of your life. I dedicated 12 years of my life. That's why I went at fucking 6 a.m. to watch that damn movie on a Sunday morning.
Dude, my wife cried at Rise of Skywalker, dude.
And, I can't say I get it because I haven't seen it yet, but
When you see it, I'll tell you. I'll tell you
all
when.
right. All right. All right, guys. So that's the show, man. That was a good 2.5 hours. I feel like that's fitting for the last show of the year.
Of the decade.
Of the decade. Sorry, the decade. So we'll be back. I'm not sure when we'll be back. We'll be back pretty soon. We're gonna have the lockdown day. We'll be every day or every week that day. And we'll have that to you. The Patreon will be going live tomorrow. I'm not tomorrow.
January 1st or January 2nd?
January 1st, which will be Wednesday. So that Patreon's gonna be going live. And we post it all over Twitter and all that good stuff on Facebook. So if you want to donate some money to us and help us get this thing even bigger than what we have, well, big. Let's start big. We haven't even got bigger yet. We got to go big first. So get this thing where we want it to be. I think we're gonna have a decent amount of goals for this year. So hopefully you guys can help us surpass them.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, and also send us your list, your decade list. I want to see,
or we missed any.
or yeah, if we missed any, let me know. Angel was pretty kind of critical in the chat, but he wasn't giving any names. He wasn't giving any names of movies. He was just criticizing my list, but it's, I'm used.
That's always fun to do. That's always fun to do.
I'm used to him criticizing me. It's fine. And yes, I know, Angel, you're not an emotional kind of person. It's all good. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and head out. I'm gonna go ahead and head to sleep. My little boy's getting restless. It's time for him to go to sleep too. Yeah. Before we head out, catch me on Twitter. Boom, right there, Alex Miller 0423, and boom. Oh no, damn it! I always go the wrong way. That's where you catch Jesus right there. At the real Jesus, that's spelled JEEZUS. I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to do it this time.
I got to give it to you one time for the year, man.
That's the new T-shirt. That's gonna be the first T-shirt that comes out.
All
right, nice. Guys. All right. So, peace out. We'll see you guys
next
out,
week. Man. Happy New Year. AMF.